Welcome, everyone. This is your friend, the DN What If, here with another exciting fanfiction. Today, we're diving into the story of What If Tanjiro Started the Hinokami Kagura? If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fanfiction content just like this. Now, let's get started with the fanfic. Many people often wondered what reincarnation is like. As someone who had walked this path, I can safely tell you it is not as magical as what you believed in. You simply suddenly found yourself in another world living a new life. I don't fully remember what my previous life was like, but it's not like I really care about it. After all, I am not somebody capable of feeling great fluctuations of emotions. Happiness, sorrow, hatred, love, whatever. I can feel it, just not to an extent that most people can feel. I know I'm not normal and I don't want to be labeled as one, so I simply hide this fact of me very well, pretending to just be like anybody else. This new life of mine is not what I would exactly call a good life. I live in feudal Japan, or at least I think it is feudal Japan or something along those lines because I'm no expert of Japan's history. My family belongs to a line of charcoal burners. For generations, our family's occupation is to manufacture charcoal and sell them. Not the best way to make a living, but it is an honest life. We don't earn much, but it is enough to keep us filled and warm. Even then, I think I'm blessed with this second life of mine. I have a pair of loving parents. Even for someone who is emotionally impaired, slowly but surely, I think my ice-cold heart that followed me into this world is starting to be able to feel what normal people can. Emotions. I can feel it. I am slowly able to put a genuine smile on my face as time passes. I no longer need to hide that ugly side of me as much because it is slowly disappearing. I am starting to slowly accept the two adults who brought me into this world as my true parents. Kamado Haruto. That's my name. I'm currently the oldest and only child in the family. For some reason our family name rings a very familiar bell, but try as I might, I could not remember why that is the case. Trying to remember why I felt this way is like experiencing an itch that I tried very hard to scratch but could not reach. As with all itches, the itch soon went away, out of sight and out of mind. It was when my mother was pregnant with my younger sibling that I remembered what the name Kamado truly means. If we are having a boy, we are naming him Tanjiro. Be a good older brother, okay? Tanjiro. Kamado Tanjiro. Demon Slayer. I screamed. The acute pain that throbbed in my head at that moment was too much for me to bear, as like a floodgate within my mind had opened. Memories that I thought I had forgotten began to resurface in my mind with me having no control over it. I blacked out. My parents were worried about what had happened to me. They wanted to get a doctor to take a look at me, but I quickly dissuaded them, saying that I'm alright. They were skeptical, but acquiesced in the end when they saw that I'm really alright. In truth, I'm not alright. It's right then that I really hated whatever higher being that placed me here and played such a cruel joke on me. Just when I'm starting to truly feel emotions again, just when I truly accepted this as my new family and ready to start anew, I have to be saddled with the burden of foreknowledge. I still don't fully remember about the entire series, but I could remember a few key points and events about the entire fandom. In a few years, Father would die. In a few more years, Muzan will arrive. Everyone except for Tanjiro and the still unborn Nezuko will die. I never felt more helpless. I don't want them to die, but what can I do? It's Muzan we are talking about. No mortal alive can kill him alone. What should I do? What can I do? My answer soon came. There is still something that I can do. As the oldest son to the family, I am required to learn the dance of the fire god. Something passed on from father to son in every generation alongside the Hanafuda earrings. I had seen father using this to dance from sunset to sunrise every year. I had no idea why that didn't click within my mind until I found out just where I had been reincarnated to. As of now, I'm the only one who knows the true identity of the dance of the fire god, the breath of the sun. In this world, I am 4 years older than Tanjiro. I don't know why and how I came into the Kamado family and how I ended up as the oldest son, but the mere thought of me being the oldest and what the future entails made me feel a strong sense of emotions I had never felt before. I really want to protect them. Tanjiro, Nezuko, and my unborn siblings. I have no idea why I felt this way just by staring at my mother's P-Arginanti belly, but I just did. For the first time, I really felt an emotion so strong within my chest, swelling until it threatens to consume me whole and make me forget who I really am. For the first time, I felt whole. And so, I made my decision. I will protect this family no matter what it takes. I may fail. Muzan may still come and kill everyone I had come to love no matter how hard I tried, but I will try. And so, at the age of 4 when baby Tanjiro arrived into this world, I begged Father to teach me the dance of the fire god, saying that it looks really pretty and I want to learn how to do the dance with him someday. For the first time, I never said a complete lie. It's true that a part of me wanted to dance with him in the ritual ceremony every new year. Looking at the sleeping Tanjiro in my arms further affirmed this feeling in my heart. I want to protect him. Tanjiro, protagonist of a fictional story or not, I don't care. My future siblings, side characters of a fictional story or not, I don't care. As of then, I finally have a purpose in life that I want to strive for. I want my family to live, no matter what it takes on my end. They may be fictional characters in another life, but right now, they are my family. Muzan absolutely cannot be allowed to touch them. It is with these thoughts that I start to learn the dance of the fire god from Father at the age of 4. He looked proud of me when I said that I want to learn the dance from him, and a part of me doesn't want to disappoint him. And so, I learned how to dance. I began to dance the dance of the fire god. I can see why nobody ever mastered the breath of the sun. It's not easy. Just going through the motions makes you breathless. I have no idea how Father could easily dance from sunset to sunrise every year without feeling anything else other than a slight case of exhaustion. It is then I began to realize why people always said that the devil's in the details. Physical requirements when it comes to the user's body aside, the dance of the fire god could only truly be completed when you pay attention to the details. The angle at which you place your foot, every single breath you take in and release, how long and how short the breaths are, how high or low you raise your arms, how much strength you place in your arms. There are so many variables required to be done right in the dance of the fire god to be able to truly call yourself a master of it. Just one single detail off and the dance cannot be possibly completed seamlessly. But I have to do this. This is the only thing I have now that can possibly help me to protect my family from the danger that I'm sure will come someday. As of now, I don't have another option. The one fortunate thing that happened is that I ended up having a genuine love for the dance of the fire god. In my spare time, all I ever do is to practice the dance of the fire god, to the point that my parents teased me for having an obsession with it. It's true, I had an obsession and motive for learning how to dance the dance of the fire god, but thankfully, that obsession turned into genuine passion. And so, I continue to dance. Nezuko arrived, I continued to dance. Over the years, Takeo, Hanako, Shigeru, Rokuta, they were born into the family one after the other, and seeing their smiling faces made me reaffirm my beliefs. For them, I have to continue to dance. For them, I will continue to dance. Father suffered from an illness not long after Mother was pregnant with Rokuta. I'm old enough to help out by then, and so without a word, things like chopping firewood, going to town to sell charcoal, and buying things for the family, I did as much as I could without needing my parents to do so. I knew this was coming. I know there's no way to stop this from happening, but seeing it happen with my own 2 eyes still left a very bitter taste in my mouth. One day, Father will die. I don't know when and I don't know how soon, but he will die. After that, after an undetermined period of time, Muzan will come and my entire family will die, and I have no idea how to stop it. The new year came again. This time, I asked my father's permission to dance the dance of the fire god with him because I have no idea if I will ever have the chance to do so again. My father simply patted my head fondly with a kind smile on his face. That sunset, the two of us danced the entire 12 forms of the dance of the fire god from sunset to sunrise with my mother and siblings watching. That night, we never stopped dancing until the sun rose again. That night, I finally mastered the dance of the fire god. It was shortly after Rokuta was born that the next big turning point in my life arrived. It was another usual day. I chopped firewood, went down to town to sell them, and bought some essentials for my family. It took a little long for that particular day because I decided to help a granny with carrying the heavy-looking basket she was struggling to lift. The me of before wouldn't have bothered, but living with the Kamados, my family, must have changed me. Their kindness really is infectious. I can see where Tanjiro got his kindness from. Our father is just like him, just a lot quieter. My mother also said that I am a lot like my father, always quiet, calm, and displaying little emotions, but a loving man nonetheless. I think mother thinks too highly of me, but I don't want to put a damper on her words, so I accepted her words with a soft smile on my face. A smile that is not entirely fake. Helping the granny didn't take too long, but it still took long enough. Long enough for the sun to set. The granny offered me to stay with her for the night, and her neighbors all gave the same offer, genuinely worried about the dangers that lurk within the forests after the sun had set. They believe in the existence of demons, a being that half of the town's population believes in and where the other half deny its existence and brushed it off as a figment of a fictitious tale. I refused the offer, knowing that I could climb the mountain in no time at all. Mastering the dance of the fire god had done wonders for my fitness. I can run faster, jump higher, easily do feats that I otherwise thought to be impossible. My years of hard work had not been wasted. Even then, I hold no illusion that I could defeat Muzan. The best I can do is to hold on long enough for my family to escape. If I could, I will make them move from the house on that mountain so that Muzan will never find them, but that is impossible. Right there is our ancestral home and land where the Kamado family had been living for generations. There's no way anyone in my family would ever move out of there. People in this era all have a very firm belief in guarding what their ancestors had left them, and my family is no different. So, the only option I have is to use the dance of the fire god to protect my family if it comes down to it. All I have to do is to hold Muzan long enough for my family to escape. I wasn't sure if it was bad luck or good luck, but the turning point ended up being my first encounter with a real demon that night. I was only halfway into my journey home, easily traversing through the woods as I ran and hopped through it with practiced ease when I met the demon. Words cannot fully describe just how grotesque it is. Many times, I had imagined what a real demon would have looked like. I had thought that I would maybe retch at their appearance or feel a strong sense of disgust. Surprisingly, I felt nothing. The demon was salivating uncontrollably as it slowly moved towards me when our paths met by accident. For some reason I don't know why, I was totally calm. My hand slowly reached for the axe I always carried with me for protection whenever I traveled away from home and held it in front of me. All my years of practice, it is for protecting my family from demons, and right now, this demon may potentially find its way to our home. I cannot let that happen. I'm sure that in canon, no demon ever ventured to our home until Muzan came, but I'm not going to bet the lives of my family on a what if. Come to demon. I will slay you. The demon leapt, and it was then I saw everything with perfect clarity. Each of its movements, its every breath, every single detail could not escape my eyes. The demon appears to be moving so slowly, so slowly that it's laughable. Even baby Rokuta can crawl faster than the demon. Curiosity sated, I moved. The only thing I used was the very first move of the dance of the fire god. With a single clean swipe, I cut off the demon's head. I turned around, only to see the demon frantically reattaching its head back to its body. Ah, that's right, only a Nichiren blade could possibly kill a demon. Normal weapons won't do. I took on another stance. I will continue dancing until sunrise if it means keeping my family safe. Or at least, that was the thought in my mind. Somebody else had joined the fray. That was the first time I met a demon slayer. He's the then Flame Hashira, Rengoku Shinjuro. In all his life as a demon slayer, Rengoku Shinjuro had never seen anybody like that little boy. He couldn't be any much older than Kayajuro, for all he knows Kayajuro may be the older one. Yet, the little boy did not have a single shred of fear when he was standing face to face against the demon. The boy's face is of perfect tranquility and calmness even in the face of death. All he did was to slowly take a stance as he held the axe in front of him. Shinjuro had spotted the boy and the demon he was tracking down for days from where he is, but he was too far, and despite how fast he was running there, he doubted that he could reach the boy before the demon got its hands on him. That didn't stop him from trying to reach the boy as fast as possible. He is the Flame Hashira. It is his duty to slay demons and save people. He had thought all hope was lost when the demon made its leap. And then even before Shinjiro could blink, the boy beheaded the demon. Shinjiro barely managed to even catch a glimpse of the boy's movements. Even when faced with the impossibility of the demon surviving something as fatal as a beheading, the boy didn't seem surprised. If he did, he hit it very well. The boy simply took on another stance, and Shinjiro had seen enough. He's now close enough to slay the demon. First form, Unknowing Fire. The boy's axe is not made from the Scarlet Crimson or unlike his Nichiren blade. There's no way the boy could kill the demon no matter how talented he is with that kind of equipment, but his Nichiren blade is different. With a single slash, the demon was no more. Shinjiro turned to the boy. He's extremely curious about what the boy just did, but the boy's well-being comes first. Are you okay? I'm fine. Thank you for saving my life. The boy gave a polite bow before straightening himself. The unconcealed awe and curiosity is clear in the boy's eyes as he visually scanned him from head to toe. Under ordinary circumstances, Shinjiro would have accepted the thanks and moved on, but this is clearly not ordinary. So, he lowered himself to the boy's level and asked, "Boy, what was it that you just used? How did you fight that demon the way you did?" Shinjiro watched the boy very closely for any details that could give him a hint or an answer for his question. The boy's facial expression and body language betrayed nothing. The only thing that he did was to blink twice. So that really was a demon. Yes, it is. Shinjiro answered slowly. Being so close to the boy, he could hear it, the boy's breathing. He is definitely employing a breath style, one he had never encountered before. This boy is a genius. He can see it how the boy handled himself. He's a natural with a blade. He is someone who can easily become a Hashira. The Demon Slayer Corps can use a boy like him. The boy is a genius that you can only meet once in a century or maybe even once a millennium. And so, he pressed on with his questions. I am a demon slayer. My job is to slay demons. What you did just now, how did you do it? I danced. Dance. Dance. The boy nodded with small nods before returning to staring at him as if in deep thought. After a brief PRD of silence, he finally opened his mouth again. How can I become a demon slayer like you? Is that your decision? Yes. I answered respectfully as I sat in front of my parents in Asiza. I want to be a demon slayer. I had thought long and hard about it after my encounter with Shinjiro. If I cannot make my family move out of our home, then I will make my own move. I will protect them by actively slaying demons, and hopefully this will cause a huge enough butterfly effect such that Muzan will never come close to them. It's a desperate and stupid move, but the best I have right now to truly alter the path which fate dictates that we walk on. The Demon Slayer Corps is a secret organization not recognized by the government. Under normal circumstances, there's no way a mere boy living in the mountains could possibly come into contact with any demon slayer or learn of their base of operations, but I had met Rengoku Shinjiro. He's obviously interested in taking me into the Corps and maybe making me his disciple. It is something that I can take advantage of. So, I asked if I could be a demon slayer like him. He said yes. I told him to wait in town because I have to inform my family of this decision and I want to do it myself, alone. He graciously agreed, but told me that if by the time noon had come tomorrow and I'm not there, he would leave because he had places to be and demons to slay. It is for the best. I don't remember everything about canon, but I know that this guy recognizes the Hanafuda earrings father wore and he hates users of the breath of the sun with a burning passion. So, it's best if he doesn't meet my father and my family. I had talked it out with the Demon Slayer. In return for me joining their ranks, I will receive monthly remunerations. It can help relieve the financial burden our family is facing. Your health is deteriorating, father. Medicine does not come cheap. But with the money Rengoku-san promised me if I join the Corps, we can easily afford it. You and mother and my siblings can all live better lives. I promise that I will return to visit as often as I can. But Haruto, you are only 13. My mother stressed, obviously uncomfortable about the idea of me, her child, facing bloodthirsty supernatural creatures on my own. I'm not a Loei Dash. I had made my mind, mother. I will leave tomorrow with or without you and father's blessings. I said resolutely. It pains me to do this too, but this is the best option I have so far. I may know how to use the breath of the sun through learning the dance of the fire god, but that does not mean I know how to use a blade. The Demon Slayer Corps can teach me what my father cannot. Also, such a chance will not come twice. With this, my chances of being able to protect my family will increase drastically. The monthly salary Shinjuro promised me is a very helpful bonus. My family really has a use for this money. Of course, demon slayers are remunerated for their services. It would make sense. How else are the slayers able to fully concentrate on slaying demons if they cannot even afford a basic meal to feed themselves? They need to have some sort of income from somewhere. The money is probably from the Ubuyashiki family if I have to make an educated guess, but that is not my main concern. My main concern is to quickly grow as strong as realistically possible to protect my family. I will clean the surrounding area of demons and find a way for Muzan to never come close to the mountain where we live. Tanjiro and Nezuko suffered too much in canon. Now that I'm here, I won't let them suffer the same fate if I could help it. I am their big brother. Protecting them is my duty. Protecting the family is my duty. It is this family that made me capable of feeling true emotions again, who made me human. I really want to protect them. Haru dash. My mother exclaimed in frustration but stopped herself, turning to my father instead. Tanjiro, say something. My father simply looked at me with a quiet and calm gaze. Have you really made up your mind? Is this really what you want to do? Yes, it is. I replied without a moment of hesitation. Why choose this path? If a demon could appear so close to home right now, who's to say another won't appear? I answered, not bothering to conceal my true feelings. As the oldest, I have to protect the family. So, I will become a demon slayer. I will slay all the demons in this area so that we won't live in constant fear of them any longer. I will be a demon slayer so that my siblings won't need to be one, so that no one else in the family needs to be one, so that nobody else needs to be one. Just leave it to that Rengoku-san you were talking about. My mother is near hysterical at this point. A child shouldn't have any busi dash. Ki. My father gently cut my mother off before turning to face me with a gentle smile. Haruto, if this is truly what you feel, then go. Do not worry about us, we will be fine. Walk the path that you decide on. Tanjiro. He will not be a child forever, Ki. My father said patiently. Everyone has their own path to walk. If Haruto is sure that this is his path, then we should not stop him. My father ruffled my hair fondly like how he always does, that same kind smile still on his face. Regardless of what you choose to do, we're proud to call you our son, Haruto. If you really want to be a demon slayer, go and be the best one there ever will be. If you're tired, then come home. We will be waiting for you. I had never cried ever since I became Kamado Haruto, but that was the first time I did. It was the first time I really viewed myself as Kamado Haruto, a true resident of this world, and not just another passing soul for the past 13 years of my life. Oni-chan is leaving? Yes. Oni-chan is leaving so that I can earn money to support the family. I patiently explained to Tanjiro. You are the eldest now, Tanjiro. You have to take care of the family in my stead. Father is not as healthy as before, it's your job now as the man of the house. I will try to come back to visit as often as I can. Tanjiro and Nezuko sobbed into my chest as I held them close. It's a little late when I finally reached home, and after I explained my decision to my parents, only Tanjiro and Nezuko were still awake. The rest of my siblings are already asleep. I don't want Oni-chan to leave. I'm sorry, Nezuko. I apologized as I tried my best to console my sister. But I have to do this. This is the only way I know how to protect the family. Then we will go with dash. No, you two will not. None of you will. I said in a stern voice. The job Oni-chan is undertaking is very dangerous. I will not allow you two to do it. But Oni-chan. You dash. Oni-chan is strong, so don't worry. I patted Tanjiro on the head. You're kind, Tanjiro, you are too kind. It's your kindness that saved your Oniai-chan, so stay that way, okay? Huh. I gave Tanjiro a smile. He really has no idea just how his mere presence made me want to be a better person. That's why I won't let him suffer. I won't make him do things alone. If possible, he will never need to wield a blade. To hell with canon, my family comes first. I'm really glad to be able to be their big brother. Oniai-chan will protect all of you, I promise. So Tanjiro, can you promise me something in return? Why yes. Promise me that you will protect this family when I'm not around. Promise me that you will learn the dance of the fire god and master it as soon as you can. You can see our father's condition for yourself. He's not in the condition to continue dancing it for much longer. It's time we take over. Now that I'm not around, I won't be able to succeed the Hanafuda earrings, so make sure you succeed them in my stead. I promise. I promise. I ruffled Tanjiro's head fondly, like how our father likes to do it for us. Thank you, Tanjiro. Have you said your goodbyes? It was a tearful send-off, but I'm ready to leave. I replied without giving much away in the tone of my voice. My younger siblings cried a lot, not wanting me to leave. Rokuta is still too young to understand anything, but the moment Hanako cried, he just followed. It took me a while to placate them and promise that I will come back as much as possible. Shinjiro merely looked at me thoughtfully before shaking his head. Then let's go. And so, I left my home and family. To protect my family, I became a demon slayer. Is that all? I asked my fellow slayers in training. All of them are groaning on the ground in pain after I easily dispatched the entire group on my lonesome. After Shinjiro took me in, I became his Tsuguko. In other words, I am his designated apprentice and one who would eventually become a Hashira. That is just what I need. With the power of a Hashira, I could better protect my family. People hail me as a genius, a prodigy, the child who invented a breath style all on his own through dancing. They didn't see the hard work that I had put in since I was 4, the 9 years of hard work that I endured to reach this point. I didn't bother to correct their misconception. After all, they are not entirely wrong. Wielding a blade just feels so natural to me. I am not a genius in using a breath style, but it seems that I am one when it comes to wielding a blade. Everything that I was shown when it comes to the blade, I simply learnt it after watching it once. It was after experiencing this that I truly felt that the higher beings who placed me here did this for the sole reason of protecting the Kamado family. Why give me such a gift if not to protect them? Shinjiro taught me his breath of flames and I did not refuse. The breath of the sun may be the superior breath style, but there's no harm in learning more. After all, the breath of the sun is what gave birth to the other forms of breath style. There might be something to learn from learning more. I never told Shinjiro the truth about the dance of the fire god, and he simply accepted my explanation of me figuring out how to use a breath style through a dance. It's not exactly a complete lie anyway. I am not supposed to know about the breath of the sun. At least not yet. So, in tribute to the dance of the fire god, I simply named my breath style the breath of fire to distinguish the difference between my breath style and his. Flame and fire may be words with the same naming, but demon slayers are strict when it comes to naming their breath styles. Mixing the two words up is a great disrespect to the respective breath styles because they are fundamentally different. Thus, I am the user of the breath of fire, not the breath of flames. Shinjiro and Kaijiro are users of the breath of flames, not the breath of fire. There is a very distinct difference. Haruto. Kaijiro. I greeted politely with a nod of my head. Practice has ended and I am about to retire to my room for the big day tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the day where I will participate in the final selections. Here, a good luck charm that I specially went to the temple to get for you. Kaijiro cheerily handed to me a small cloth bag the size of a small pebble. Can't believe you are entering the final selection only after a month of being here, but it's you after all. I expect nothing less. You speak too highly of me. You are strong too. I replied with a smile. If there's anyone that I can refer to as my friend, it is probably him. It may only be a short month, but his amiable personality and cheerful demeanor makes it hard for even me to ignore him. I will catch up to you someday, just you watch. I will become a Hashira too. Kaijiro said excitedly with a clenched fist. Then we can go demon slaying together. Breath of fire and breath of flames. The fiery duo. We will set our hearts ablaze. I will look forward to it, I said as we continued to walk ahead with Kagura keeping the conversation going. Being a demon slayer is not too bad. At least I met another kind-hearted soul that can make me genuinely feel emotions like a true human being again. If my memories serve me right, in canon, Kagura died in the line of duty while investigating a case about a train. I remembered it taking place not long after Tanjiro officially joined the Corps as an official member. On account of our friendship, I will prevent that from happening to Kagura as best as I can. Black, huh? Even my swordsmith was taken aback by this color. It is an inauspicious color to have for a demon slayer if their blade turns black. I, however, simply don't care. Thank you for your hard work. I thanked my swordsmith and let my Kasugai crow perch on my shoulder. I will get going now. I will be sure to put the blade to good use. I left, letting the Kasugai crow point the way forward for me. It just so happens that home is in that same direction as well. I could give my family a visit on the way to my destination and clear the area around my home of any demons while I'm at it. Oni-chan. Hello, Nezuko. I caught Nezuko in a hug, who was the first to spot me and ran up to give me a hug the moment she did. Tanjiro put down the firewood in his hands the moment he saw me as well, and our siblings followed suit. Oni-chan. Haruto. Mother. I greeted her with a smile on my face. I'm back. I cannot stay for long, however, but I'm back regardless. Look at you. Are you hungry? Need some water? Quick, come in. My mother dragged me into the house without giving me a chance to speak. I let her fuss over me, knowing that this is the only way she knows how to show her love for me. Welcome back. My father greeted me the moment he saw me. His gaze traveled to the sword tied to the belt on my waist. It caught my siblings' attention as well. Wow. A real sword. Yes, a real sword. I said with a laugh as I patted Takeo on the head. It's dangerous, so don't touch it, okay? Can we see you swinging it? Hinako asked excitedly. Can we? Can we? I blinked in bafflement. On second thought, it is not a bad idea. Your big brother just reached home. He must be tired. Let him rest first. My mother chided as she handed me a cup of water, which I accepted with thanks and drank it. My mind is still thinking about what Hinako said. Want to see me dance the dance of the fire god with a sword? I asked my excitable siblings after giving the matter some thought. I don't know if what I am doing right now can prevent Muzan from appearing here, and I don't want Tanjiro to end up having to slay demons if I have a say in it, but if things really do get to that point, I need to at least try and equip Tanjiro with the skills that he may need as soon as I possibly can. Tanjiro has a good memory, hopefully he can remember what I will show to him today. I am no Yorichi, but I am the closest to replicating his feats right now. As expected, my siblings agreed to my proposition with a cheer. Father simply looked on with a gentle smile. I walked out to the clearing outside, making sure that my siblings are at a safe distance away. My parents and my siblings sat on the porch to watch me as I slowly got into a stance and unsheathed my sword in slow motion. And so I danced. So you are the lower moon one, huh? I had to leave my home after staying there for a single night. I am on duty and I have to investigate a case the Corps pointed me to. Taking a detour to visit my family and checking the nearby areas for any demons already took up some time. I cannot delay any longer. I just didn't expect to meet a lower moon one right off the bat. Talk about luck. I don't recognize this particular demon from my memories, but whatever. A demon is a demon. Another of you annoying slayers? Die. The lower moon one lunged. I concentrated as I took a stance, my hands on the handle of my blade and sheath. The demon's movements appeared before me in slow motion and perfect clarity, just like how when I faced my very first demon. Even if it is a lower moon one that I am facing now, its movement still appears so slow, so clear. It's so easy to pick out every single detail and identify all of its openings that it is laughable. Is this demon just that weak? Or have I become really strong without me realizing it? I remembered that in canon, Takito Michiro became a pillar after a mere 2 months of training. It is entirely possible to achieve the strength needed of a Hashira in a short PRD of time. Have I managed to do something similar too? I have daydreamed too much. The lower moon one is now a little too close for comfort. And so, I drew my sword from its sheath in one single motion. I got to the back of the lower moon one without any difficulty. There was a dull thud and I turned back. After seeing how the headless corpse of the lower moon one is disintegrating right before my very eyes, I turned and walked away. There is no longer any need to remain here any longer. I got what I need here. This encounter with the lower moon one is a check that I need. I already have the strength to possibly go up against an upper moon if I can take down the lower moon one this easily. I can better protect my family like this. I am a step closer to my goal. I will protect my family no matter what it takes. Kamado Haruto, do you accept the title of Fire Hashira? Just a few days before, Shinjuro suddenly retired for no reason and gave up on the blade. His passion for demon slaying just evaporated without any reason. There's a missing slot among the Hashiras and it's not like all 9 slots were filled in the first place and coincidentally, I had just proved myself worthy of such a title by slaying a member of the 12 demon moons all by myself. To Ubuyashiki, my feat came at just the right time because I could replace the position that Shinjuro left vacant. It helps that Shinjuro originally designated me as his successor. I do, Oyakata-sama, I said as I knelt in front of him. Reading about him from a manga was one thing. Interacting with him is another thing entirely. This man, he has my full respect for what he does. I don't have any other words to say. As of now, the current Hashiras are Himejima, Yuzui, and Urokodaki. It surprised me to see Urokodaki here, but I must be still at an early point in the world's history. In canon, he was a Hashira after all. One look and I can tell that Urokodaki is old. He will probably retire very soon. And so, with the other current Hashiras watching, I became the Fire Hashira at 13. One step closer to protecting my family from Muzan. These are the children who I had saved that day. Their bodies should be suitable for learning the breath of water. Please take care of them, Urokodaki-san. It was entirely by accident that I saw the exchange of words between Himejima and Urokodaki that day. Beside them are 2 girls about my age. Is Urokodaki taking in disciples? Nevertheless, it's none of my business to pry into this matter, so I continue to walk ahead. My ears still pick up on their conversation nonetheless. I am going to retire soon, so this is as good a time as any to gain some teaching experience before officially becoming a cultivator to pass on the breath of water to future generations. What are your names, girls? I am Kocho-ken. This is my younger sister, Kocho Shinobu. Please take care of us. I cannot help but let out a mental huff. Was the breath of flower and breath of insect derived from the breath of water? I really could not remember if there was such a detail. I continue to walk on ahead to the room that I had been kindly given in the core HQ. As a Hashira, I am given the privilege of having a personal room all to myself. Once I've slept a bit to recover from the mission that I've just returned from, I will be going back to training. I need to be able to dance from sunset to sunrise under extreme conditions if I want to even have a small chance to face Muzan himself. Problem is, how can I create such extreme conditions for training? It's not like I can ask the upper moon demons to act as my sparring partners. Maybe if I ask a fellow Hashira to spar with me? Not too sure about Urokodaki or Yuzui, but Himejima would probably agree. He's a kind man. With that thought in mind, I paused in my tracks before turning to walk in Himejima's direction. Might as well. I could probably learn a lot from someone like him. I may have somehow learned how to use the very first breath style in existence, but that does not make me omnipotent. I need more experience and practice. Himejima-san, Urokodaki-san. I greeted them with a bow which they returned. We may be equals in rank, but they are still my seniors. Certain etiquette needs to be adhered to, especially when I'm still a child. It does not hurt to be polite. Kamado-san. Himejima greeted back with both palms pressed against each other in a motion of prayer. It's nice to see you return back safely from your mission. Is there anything we can help you with? About that. Beneficent radiance. I deflected Himejima's axe with a slash of my blade. I can see it now, the resemblance between the various forms. It is during the sparring that I am going through now together with Himejima and Urokodaki that I can see the similarities between the different forms. I can see how the initial forms that branched out from the breath of the sun had evolved into what they are today. Fighting Himejima and Urokodaki is definitely an enriching experience. They have experience in spades and that showed. The only thing that I have going for me is the mastery of my breath style, allowing me to keep going without rest now that I am able to dance from sunset to sunrise after 9 long years of hard work and practice. All I am able to do at the start was to defend against their attacks, but I am beginning to be able to perform my own counter against theirs. Somehow, I can understand some of their moves they used because I can see the faint similarity between our forms. Once I understand how their forms worked, countering them becomes easier. Dragon Sun Halo Head Dance. I continued my dance as I made my first real offensive move against Urokodaki. I had seen what all 10 of his forms from his breath of water can do, and I am starting to understand how Yorichi created it. The same applies to Himejima and his breath of stone. With that, I can begin my offensive. I don't need to win, I just need to be able to dance until sunrise. And so, I continue to dance. How did you do that? You are about the same age as us. How old are you even? 13 this year. I replied as I took a huge gulp of water Himejima had kindly offered me. As I had suspected, as of now, I cannot dance till sunrise if I am engaged in an intense fight. Right now I could only manage to last about an hour while sparring against Himejima and Urokodaki at the same time. I don't think I did badly considering who my opponents are, but I can definitely be a lot better. I need to be able to complete my dance from sunset to sunrise when fighting against Muzan. I need to be able to do that as soon as possible. You are a year younger than me. Kane pointed a finger at me, which I pointedly ignored. Urokodaki had allowed them to watch and asked Himejima and I if they could do that, saying that this might help them realize what being a demon slayer means and how high they need to climb in order to be a Hashira. I personally don't really care about the arrangement and neither did Himejima, so the sisters stayed to watch. So, it's not like demons will care how old you are when you face them. To them, we are all the same. We are simply food. My words seemed to provoke a reaction out of Shinobu, who clenched her fists upon hearing what I have to say. Kenny, not so much. After seeing you spar with Urokodaki-san and Himejima-san, I think I want to strive to be a Hashira too. Kane spoke softly as she looked down. You showed us that with enough hard work and practice, even us children can become a Hashira. With that kind of power, we can stop demons from inflicting pain on humans. Then do so. Don't just speak, do it. I told her in reply before getting up from my seat and bowing in Himejima and Urokodaki's direction. Thank you for today, Himejima-san, Urokodaki-san. Sorry for the trouble. It's no problem at all, Kamado-san. To be a Hashira at your age and to fight against me and Himejima at the same time for an hour is already an impressive feat. I look forward to seeing what you can do when you are older. We are fellow Hashiras, Kamado-san, please do not stand on ceremony. If you ever need a sparring partner again, we are more than happy to help you. Namo Amida Butts. With a grateful bow I turned and left. The Demon Slayer Corps are really made of some of the nicest people I had ever met. Somehow, it made me feel like I can continue to feel the warmth which my family had helped me to feel again. 2 more years passed. Things had largely remained the same. I made regular visits back home and I will give as much money I could possibly give to my family, money that I earned by becoming a demon slayer. It's enough to get my family to live a relatively better and comfortable life. Father's illness is easier to handle now that we can easily afford the medicine he needs. I would show my siblings the dance of the fire god with my Nichiren blade every time I returned because they love it when I do so, saying that my dance is simply breathtaking. So I dance. I also make sure to come back every new year to dance on father's behalf since Tanjiro is still a little too young to be able to master the dance and father is still a little too sickly for me to be comfortable with him doing it. Being able to go back home every new year to visit my family is a small request I ask from Oyakata-sama, one which he grants without hesitation. I also gave each of my family members a small packet of wisteria flowers for them to carry them on their person as a good luck charm. Mother loves the smell of wisteria incense I brought back, and she burned them every night like I asked her to. Like this, I can sleep a little easier at night knowing that they are slightly safer from demons. I regularly check the surrounding area near our home for demons and clear them out if I spotted any, but I cannot be there all the time. Now with the wisteria incense, things are looking a little better. Urokodaki had retired from the Corps and now focuses on teaching the future generation the breath of water as a cultivator. Kane and Shinobu became official members of the Corps and I see them around sometimes. I have no idea when Kane will become a Hashira, but that isn't really my concern. I'm not exactly here to make friends. My only goal is to protect my family from Muzan. Kaijuro had become a demon slayer as well. His father, also my teacher and predecessor, is now a shell of his former self. I don't know what made him turn out that way, and if Canon provided an explanation, I could not remember why. I have a feeling that him learning about the existence of the breath of the sun was the reason, but I have no concrete proof. In any case, he had taught me the breath of flames and I passed on what I knew to Kaijuro. If I do not do so, the only other way for Kaijuro to learn the breath of flames would be him trying to figure everything out from just 3 volumes of books. Kaijuro and I would sometimes partner up for missions. I don't speak much in the first place and I'm not exactly here to make friends. He's the only exception thus far. Having him around makes things a little less boring because his chatty and cheerful nature brightens up my otherwise dull routine. It helps that he is enthusiastic about training with me. Look at the angle and height in which I hold my sword, Kaijuro. A small difference, but leading to very large changes. This is how you do the 9th form, Rengoku. The 9th form of the Breath of Flames has some resemblance to Solar Heat Haze and Dance of the Breath of the Sun, that much I could tell. Shinjuro teaching me about the various forms of the Breath of Flames when I was his Tsuguko helped a lot in my understanding about the relationship between the Breath of the Sun and Breath of Flames too. Now, I want to pass on that understanding to Kaijuro. The more Hashiras and more powerful they are in the future when the inevitable fight with Muzan comes, the better. I can better protect my family this way if the core is stronger. I made a powerful dashing slash and obliterated the target, performing the 9th form, Rengoku. Did you catch that? I think I understand now. Kaijuro exclaimed with passion as he took his own stance. I simply need more burning passion in my heart. He dashed off and did his own rendition of the 9th form. From how he adjusted the way he held his sword, he had gotten what I was trying to teach him for the past hour. Well, good for him. We need to get a move on. I told him as I picked up my belongings. We still have a mission to complete. You are absolutely right, my friend. Kaijuro said with unrivaled enthusiasm. It's time to show the demons our fiery determination. Let's burn them down to the bone. Only you can be so cheerful all the time, Kaijuro. Only you. I shook my head in amusement. I mean, our next mission destination is a disease-infested slum. Only he would be so enthusiastic about going to such a place. As demon slayers, we all have a duty to protect the weak who cannot protect themselves from the demons. Those who were born strong have a duty to protect the weak. I cannot back down. Isn't that what it means to be a demon slayer, Haruto? I guess so. I mean, I wouldn't know. I did not become a demon slayer out of any noble sense of duty or compassion from my heart. It is out of a selfish wish that I join the Corps. I only become a demon slayer so that my siblings don't need to be one. Well, I still think that is a respectable reason, my friend. I looked at Kaijuro with wide eyes. My reason, respectable? Fire up your heart, my friend. Family is important, is it not? To willingly put yourself in danger for the sake of your family is a respectable reason too. We become demon slayers so that other people do not need to experience the pain and horror others have gone through, so that they don't need to be a demon slayer. You need to stop having such a low view of yourself, Haruto. Set your heart ablaze. Look forward. You are the fire Hashira. I cannot hide the faint smile on my face even if I tried. Thanks, Kaijuro. Anything for you, my friend. Onward we go. Let's burn the demons out of existence. Are you two all right, ladies? Kagura appeared onto the battlefield with that usual cheery expression and a smile on his face, sword drawn and ready to battle. I simply walked up nonchalantly to join him. I don't see any real threat among the group of demons here, although I do see two familiar faces among the demon slayers that Kagura just saved. Kei Kamado-san. Kane, Shinobu. I replied to Kane. Please leave this to Kagura and I. Both of you should leave with the other slayers. We can still fight. Shinobu exclaimed. A quick visual assessment from me confirmed this fact. They are not injured to the extent that it will hamper their abilities or get in our way. Very well. Just don't get in our way. I replied in a monotone. As a Hashira, I have a duty to slay demons, protect the core, my fellow demon slayers and innocent humans, and guide the next generation, but that's it. I'm not here to make friends, I'm simply here to protect my family in the best way I know how. There's a lower moon too nearby. Kane quickly relayed what she had learnt. It's hiding out of sight somewhere, using the group of demons ahead to distract us from finding it. I see. Can I trust you two to work with Kagura to handle the group of demons here? I will find the lower moon too. Leave it to me, my friend. I will protect my fellow slayers with my life. Thank you. I dashed off without another word, easily cutting a path through the group of demons in order to find the lower moon too. The three of them can deal with whatever demons I had left out. The three of them are not weak by any means, they are the ones who will be Hashiras in the future. The keen sense of smell I inherited from my father revealed to me the lower moon two's location. I didn't bother to find out what its blood demon arts is, because I won't even give it a chance to use it. I sheathed my sword the moment I dashed past the demon. Another demon from the 12 demon moons down. One more step closer to protecting my family from Muzan. You need to be faster and more unpredictable. Don't give your enemies a chance to react. We were on our way back after the mission in which I killed the lower moon too. Kagura and I reached just in time to rescue the group of demon slayers that we were supposed to find and provide support to. Kane and Shinobu requested to train under me on our way back. I could not find a reason to refuse, so I agreed. It will make the return trip a little more fun anyway. And so, I danced with the sisters and Kagura, who would never say no to any form of training. I can see why Kane became a Hashira. She has natural-born talent. Even after just a mere 2 years after she was first taught how to fight and use breath styles, her improvement is staggering. I took 9 years to master the dance of the fire god. She took 2 years to master the breath of flower that she learned from a book Urokodaki gave her, saying that it is a breath style the first user of the breath of flower had left behind. It is a breath style designed for women to use because not all breath styles are suited for a woman's physique. The first user of the breath of flower derived it from the breath of water after seeing how she was not suited to use the breath of water to its fullest effect. Stand up, you three. All of you said that you want to become Hashiras, did you not? Then why are all of you just lying there and not moving? Are you all just talk? Prove to me that you have what it takes to be a Hashira. Stand up. If there's one thing I could not accept, it's giving up. Not giving up is what enabled me to master the dance of the fire god. If I had given up the moment I became breathless after just using the first form of the dance, I could not have managed to finish the dance from sunset to sunrise alongside my father. My years of hard work was what enabled me to place myself at the starting line in the first place. My natural talent with a sword was a gift from the heavens, but a gift that I could not use to its fullest extent if it wasn't for my hard work in mastering the breath style Yorichi left behind. Even so, I also had to put in a lot of hard work into perfecting the gift that I was given. To me, giving up is never an option if I want to protect my family. That is why no matter what it takes, no matter how slim the chance may be, I will do whatever I can to protect them from Muzan. They managed to stand up once more, ready to dance another round. Looking at the determination that they are showing, it is no wonder that they all ended up becoming Hashiras. I held up my sword once more. I don't know how my presence will influence their lives, but I do hope it is for the better. Why are you still here? Rengoku is assigned elsewhere and Shinobu is staying behind to invent more poison to use, so I guess that leaves the two of us. I scoffed and continued to walk ahead with Kane walking beside me. Kagura and I have successfully completed our mission by escorting the group of demon slayers we rescued from the lower moon 2 back to HQ. Kagura is assigned to another mission while I decide to go back to patrolling the area which I'm in charge of until another mission for me comes in. For some reason, Kane decided to stick with me. If you're here to try and make friends, go elsewhere. I'm here to slay demons, not here to make friends. Oh my, saying that hurts my heart, you know? People of the same age should stick together. You are always so lonely whenever I see you around. And if you're not here to make friends, what about Rengoku? I knew him before I became an official demon slayer. He doesn't count. Then how about you do the same for Shinobu and I? For what? I don't have time to babysit anybody else. Go elsewhere if you want someone to teach you. But didn't you already taught us Dash? That was a one-time offer. You don't need to keep purposely pushing people out of your life, you know? I have no idea why you are always insistent on doing everything alone, but there will always be people who are willing to help you if you so much as stop and turn around, Haruto-kun. Her words made me take a pause in my tracks. For some reason I cannot explain, her words ignited a sense of fury in my heart. Shut up. I walked off, leaving her behind. There's no way I can involve others in whatever I'm doing. The whole point of me becoming a demon slayer is so that nobody from my family would ever need to involve themselves in this demon slaying business. It is so that nobody from my family will die. It is so that nobody from my family will ever need to pick up a sword. If I have to do this alone, then so be it. Lord Muzan, have you found what I tasked you to find? Muzan asked without turning to look at the demon kneeling on the floor, more interested in his experiments than anything else. The only reason why he is gracing this particular demon with his presence is because this demon is a little special. It actually is able to withstand the effects of wisteria flowers, albeit only for a short while. Still, this is already a big breakthrough on their end, to have a demon that is able to build up a slight resistance to wisteria. If all goes well, maybe all demons in the future will be able to possess such resistance as well, something which will definitely be a huge blow to those pesky demon slayers. I'm sorry, Lord Muzan. I have failed to locate the blue spider lily. Muzan clicked his tongue in annoyance, finally looking up to face this somewhat special demon. Even then, you still have the gall to ask for more of my blood? There is an area where demons dare not enter in recent years, for none who entered ever came out alive. I have checked and found out that a particular human settlement in that area is being actively protected by a Hashira. For the area to be so heavily protected by a Hashira, I believe that there is a small chance that the blue spider lily can be found there, but as of now I are too weak to do so, am I right? Muzan scoffed. In the next instant, tentacles emerged from within his sleeves and pierced into the demon. Fine, I shall grant you your wish. Do not disappoint me. Even if you cannot find me the blue spider lily, go make yourself useful and kill a Hashira or two, then maybe you might be good enough to be a part of the 12 demon moons. The demon could not reply, still too busy screaming from having Muzan's blood forcefully injected into it. She spotted it right away when she first saw him. The loneliness and strong sense of duty, it's all there in his eyes. They are about the same age, still children, and she doesn't why he constantly gives off the feeling that he doesn't want anybody else approaching him, as if he is afraid of forming bonds with others. She doesn't like to see that kind of expression on anybody's face, so she tried to approach him in a cheerful manner, hoping that maybe she could be his friend. He simply responded to her with as little words as possible. But his spar with Urokadaki and Himejima is something she would never forget, and she is sure it is the same for Shinobu. He is only about their age, and yet he could go toe-to-toe against another 2 Hashiras all on his own. It surprised her further that he is already a Hashira when he's a year younger than her. It's after witnessing that spar that she knows how far she needs to go in order to become a competent demon slayer, how much further she needs to climb up to become a Hashira. I want to strive to be a Hashira too. Seeing the way he fought as if doing an elaborate dance inspired her. It's then she made a vow that she will become a Hashira, so that other people will no longer need to experience the same pain and horror that she and Shinobu had gone through. She told him her vow with a smile. He probably doesn't remember that she even told him that, but she remembered what his reply was. Then do so. Don't just speak, do it. He left right after he said that, and she could do nothing but to watch the retreating figure of his back. He's not wrong. To become a Hashira, you cannot just be all words, you need to prove it with your actions. So, she trained, hoping to catch up to him someday, the person who inspired her to be a Hashira. She learnt a little about the enigma when she was learning under Urokodaki. His name is Kamado Haruto, a prodigy that the previous Flame Hashira picked up from an unnamed mountain when he was on his patrols. According to Urokodaki, Haruto had invented a breath style all on his own through a dance he performed as a ritual ceremony. By the time Rengoku Shinjuro picked him up, he had already mastered the total concentration breathing and was able to behead a demon without prior training or guidance. He is also a natural with a sword, learning everything there is to know about it within a month and then passing the final selections with flying colors. A month later, he slain the then lower moon one, becoming a Hashira. Every time she looked at his back, it felt that if anyone is favored by the heavens, it is him. It's like in front of him, every amount of work you put in is useless. It's like he is born to surpass everyone, a being that is out of the reach of mortals. She didn't see him all that much until about 2 years later when he and Rengoku arrived as their reinforcements. His back still seems so big and far. She saw how he effortlessly cut his way through the group of demons in his effort to locate the lower moon too. The distance she needs to close is still so big. She is still far from able to stand alongside the other Hashiras as their equal. So, she requested for him to train her and Shinobu on their way back. By some slide of luck, or maybe he was simply in a good mood, he agreed. Rengoku joined in as well, and what turned out from that was a very one-sided beatdown Haruto gave them. She could do nothing but lay on the ground in pain. Stand up, you three. All of you said that you want to become Hashiras, did you not? Then why are all of you just lying there and not moving? Are you all just talk? Prove to me that you have what it takes to be a Hashira. Stand up. It was then she thinks she saw it, something in his eyes. That fierce determination to protect, she could identify it. It's the same look in her eyes whenever she thinks about her younger sister, whenever she made a silent vow to herself to protect her younger sibling from harm. Maybe there's a lot more to the Fire Hashira than she thought. She shamelessly bugged and stuck herself with him after they returned from their mission. Not just because she genuinely wants to be his friend, but also because if anybody can train her to be better without going easy on her, it is him. She doesn't like it when he puts on that unreadable and calm expression on his face all the time. He should really smile more. If you're here to try and make friends, go elsewhere. I'm here to slay demons, not here to make friends. He saw through her attempts to befriend him right away. It didn't deter her. She pressed on, trying to get him to open up. It's when her words are starting to fall on deaf ears did she speak her heartfelt thoughts. You don't need to keep purposely pushing people out of your life, you know? I have no idea why you are always insistent on doing everything alone, but there will always be people who are willing to help you if you so much as stop and turn around, Haruto-kun. He paused in his tracks. His face is one of calmness, but his eyes betrayed his emotions. Rage, sorrow, determination, protectiveness. Shut up. He left her behind with those 2 words and he walked on ahead, fuming in silent fury. Guess her words had hit where it hurts him the most. Haruto had always been polite, saying something like that is not like him. She must have pushed too far. Still, she ran after him. She became a demon slayer to protect others and their smiles. If she couldn't even make a single person smile, then she would have failed. He's her pillar of inspiration, the person who made her dare to dream to become a Hashira. She will make him smile again. She will start from being his friend. That's the least she could do. Where are we going? A detour back to my home. She shamelessly walked behind him the entire time. He didn't make an effort to shake her off, but he didn't bother to turn around to ensure that she could keep up with him either. He simply walks at his own pace. She saw how he patrolled and purposely made an effort to sniff out the demons hiding in the area, quite literally. His keen sense of smell is really something to behold. There's a certain area which he combed through a lot more thoroughly than most. Now that she knows that is where his family is staying at, it made sense. He began to climb up a mountain and she quickly followed, not wanting to get lost within the woods. The way he traveled through it with practiced ease made her certain that right on this mountain is where he used to live. She soon saw it, a straw hut. Haruto Onen. A bunch of children ran up to greet him with a big hug the moment they spotted him, toppling him over his feet. Haruto laughed as he ruffled their hair and hugged them in return. It's the first time she saw it, the first time she saw him laugh from the bottom of his heart. Have you been behaving when I'm not around? We did. Oniai-chan? Who is this pretty Oni-san? Look, she also has a sword like Oniai. Wow. Do you think she can dance the dance of the fire god too? What did I used to tell you when you guys are greeting somebody else? Haruto adopted a slightly sterner tone, the tone an older sibling would use when reprimanding their younger sibling. She would know. She uses it on Shinobu too when she gets out of hand. Haruto's younger siblings immediately straightened themselves and began to greet her. It's nice to meet you, Wanisan. I'm Nezuko. Hanako. Takeo. That is Shigeru and he is Rokuta. It's nice to meet you, I'm Kocho Kane. Kane greeted the children with a smile. I never knew Haruto-kun had siblings. What? Onya-chan, how could you not tell her about us? She didn't ask. And stop shouting, Takeo, my ears are starting to hurt. And where's father and mother? Tanjiro? Where is he? They are in town to sell firewood. Father is showing him the ropes. Mother left me to take care of everyone. Thank you, Nezuko. You did a great job. Haruto patted Nezuko on the head fondly. Is father feeling better? No. Nezuko looked a little down at that. We tried to buy the best medicine we can afford, but father always says to not spend the money on him and save it for future use instead. Even mother could not convince him otherwise. I see. I will try and talk some sense into him then. Please do, Oniai-chan. Father keeps coughing non-stop nowadays. Tanjiro and An wanted to just go to town alone, but father insisted on keeping him company. He is in no condition to move around. Mother is worried about him, so she accompanied him as well. Haruto simply sighed at those words. You guys haven't started to prepare dinner, right? How about we make dinner together while waiting for them to come back? Yay! Then will you dance the dance of the fire god after that? Please. Please. Sure. Yay. She never knew Haruto is capable of giving such a gentle look. She didn't know that he could smile so lovingly until then. It was right then that she knew the reason why he became a demon slayer. There could be no other reason. He wants to protect his family from demons. You should eat more. Look at you, too skinny. Oh dear, why didn't Haruto say anything about bringing a lady friend over? We would have prepared better food if that was the case. This is the first time Haruto ever brought anyone home. Haruto, next time, at least send a letter over first if you are bringing anybody home to visit us. Especially if it is a lady. I didn't ask her to come. In fact, I told her to leave. She just followed me up here. Haruto. It's alright, Ki-Oba-san. It's true that I followed after Haruto-kun without permission. I shouldn't have stayed and imposed dash. None of that. This is Haruto's fault for not being a good host. I'm glad that you came up here with him. Tanjiro said with a laugh. Feel free to visit us whenever you like, Kenshin. A friend of Haruto is a friend of ours as well. Hey Wani-san, are you a beast hunter like Oniai-chan as well? Please? Hunter? Kane asked, feeling a little confused. Yes, she is. Haruto quickly answered on her behalf when Tanjiro asked her that question. Eat your food before it gets cold, Tanjiro. She gave Haruto a look which he pointedly ignored. Guess someone is not all that forthcoming about his real job. This money should last you for more than 2 months. It's after dinner. She had volunteered to wash the dishes, but the Kamadu siblings practically kicked her out of the kitchen, saying that she's their guest and shouldn't need to do such a thing and should instead spend more time with their Oniai-chan. She's starting to think that the children are getting the wrong idea about her relationship with Haruto. She walked back out of the kitchen only to be greeted with the sight of Haruto passing money to their parents. She stayed out of sight and hid herself behind a wall, not wanting to interrupt the Kamados. Haruto, this is too much. We don't need to spend that much. Take it. And father, why are you not taking your medicine? Your health isn't getting any better. I know my body better than anyone, Haruto. I'm probably not going to last for much longer, medicine or not. Tanjiro said with a peaceful smile on his face and ruffled Haruto's hair fondly. I'm glad I get to see you one last time before I go. You've grown to be a fine man. I'm proud of you. Father, please don't say something like that. You will live, okay? Just take your medicine. Please. At least I get to see my future daughter-in-law before I go. Tanjiro acted oblivious to Haruto's words as he laughed good-naturedly. Kane's a good girl, Haruto. Treat her well. I barely know her. She's just a colleague from work. Kane heard Haruto giving an exasperated sigh before she heard him opening the cloth bag he was carrying around. This is the new batch of wisteria incense and the small bags of wisteria flowers I packed for the kids. They are carrying those around with them all the time, right? We made sure they do. They still think it is a good luck charm. Don't worry, we made sure to light the incense every night. So Haruto is protecting his family from demons in his own way. Haruto's siblings may not be privy to what he really does for a living, but it seems that his parents are in the know. Kane-chan, there's no need to feel out of place here. Come join us. Tanjiro's voice got her to snap her head back up in alarm. How did he notice her presence? She is hiding herself behind a wall. Her presence is concealed thanks to her breathing techniques. It's not possible for any ordinary human to detect her presence. Reluctantly, she showed herself. She bowed awkwardly, not knowing how she should react when she was caught eavesdropping in this manner. Sorry for intruding. I didn't mean to listen in. It's not like what we are talking about is a secret. Tanjiro said with a gentle smile, his warm eyes seemingly able to see through her. To be a demon slayer at this age, life must be hard for you too. Even then, I have a favor to ask. Help us to take care of Haruto in our stead, alright? Father. I do not need dash. Okay. She chirped back happily, partly just to annoy Haruto and partly because she wants to take care of him as a friend. Haruto may be one of the strongest demon slayers in the Corps, but I swear, he rarely smiles. The number of times he did could be counted on a single hand. The only friend he has is Rengoku-san. I will get him to smile more and make more friends, I promise. Kane. Really? Haruto. We didn't raise you to be so antisocial. Mother you need to make more friends. You know what? I give up. Haruto surrendered with a sigh. It's at this moment when Haruto's siblings came barreling into the room. Oni-chan. We finished washing the dishes. Come on, dance the dance of the fire god for us. Oh, maybe this one Isen can dance with you too. She doesn't know the dance of the fire god. Haruto replied patiently to Takeo's endless barrage of words as he stood up and picked up his sword. Come, let's go outside. Kane doesn't really know what is going on, but she had heard about Haruto figuring a breath style all on his own through a dance that was passed down in his family for generations. This might be it. Look carefully, Kane-chan. There's a lot you can learn from the dance of the fire god. Tanjiro spoke with a smile as she sat with the Kamado family on their front porch, watching Haruto standing alone in the huge clearing. She smiled back at the man, still not knowing what he meant. She watched as Haruto slowly got into a stance and in slow motion, began to draw his sword out from its sheath. She watched as he slowly went through the motions form by form before it got faster and faster, and when he repeated the entire cycle, her eyes widened. Isn't what he is currently using the breath of fire and their respective forms? She had seen it enough times during her spar with Haruto. It's the exact same thing. That's the first segment, dance. Kane can only listen on in confusion and awe as she watched Haruto performing the dance of the fire god while Tanjiro patiently explained the name of each segment, 12 in total, meant to perform in repetition from sunset to sunrise. This is a breath style, no doubt about it. Now that she has the time to see it up close and perform in slow motion, she can see it. The dance of the fire god is a breath style, one unlike anything she had seen before. It's even more complicated than any other form of breath style that she knew of. Haruto started learning it when he was 4. Kept bugging his father to learn it even. He would never stop practicing the dance in his free time, saying that it is his responsibility as the eldest to learn it and perform the ceremony so that Tanjiro would not need to do it because of his ailing health. He would come back every new year without fail to perform the ceremony for us. Kane nodded at the words, her mind still trying to piece out the mystery. If the dance of the fire god is indeed a breath style passed on within the Kamado family for generations, it would explain certain things. Like how Tanjiro noticed her presence when she was actively trying to conceal it. Like how Haruto was able to easily slay a demon without any prior training and achieved total concentration breathing all on his own without a teacher. He's not a genius, not truly. He had put in a lot of hard work to master his breath style through endless repetition of this dance of the fire god. For 11 years he had been practicing this dance over and over again. First, as a ritual ceremony as the eldest son of the Kamado family, then as a demon slayer said to practice the breath of fire. The breath of fire is simply the dance of the fire god. No more, no less. The more she thinks about it, the more she is convinced that somewhere long ago, the Kamado family must have been involved with the core. There is no other explanation for the existence of this unknown breath style. She watched on with the Kamado family, mesmerized by the way he danced with his sword under the silver moonlight. The both of you cannot stay for the night? We are on a mission, mother. Haruto patiently explained. The Kasugai crows had arrived with a new mission when Haruto was halfway with his dance. Haruto had stopped his dance immediately and she had also stood up in response, ready to slay demons. Onion, do you really have to go again? I'm sorry, Tanjiro, but I have to go. Haruto patted Tanjiro on the head. Did you see the dance clearly this time? I did. I'm only able to complete 3 segments without stopping as of now, but I will be better when you return the next time. I promise. I'm sure you can do it. Haruto said those words with the gentlest smile Kane had ever seen. And when that day comes, we can perform the ceremony together. I want to do it too. Me too. Haruto's younger brothers began to make a ruckus and Kane cannot help but let out a smile at the sight. She can understand now the childish innocence of his siblings that Haruto is so desperately trying to protect. Take care of yourselves, father, mother. I will be going now. Take care, Haruto. You too, Kane. With that, they left. They were halfway through descending the mountain when she asked. The dance of the fire god is a breath style. Were your family demon slayers? No. But breath style is not something only entitled to demon slayers. Our family has been charcoal burners for generations. I've checked our family tree. I see. I don't think I need to remind you, but don't tell a single soul about the truth of my breath of fire. I don't want my family to be involved with the core or anything demon-related in general. I understand. You better. Do you have so little confidence in me? She pouted in mock anger. I can keep a secret. I'd thought we were friends. Even your parents told you to be friends with me. That's their own delusion. I didn't join the core to make friends. Protecting my family from demons is the only reason why I'm here. You do well to remember that. He took off with a greater dash of speed and she hurriedly followed. Somehow, she cannot help but feel that there's a greater underlying fear that drives Haruto forward in becoming a demon slayer. Why is he so sure that he has to be a demon slayer to protect his family? He has been practicing the dance of the fire god since he was 4. If he has the dance of the fire god at his disposal, he is more than enough to dispatch any ordinary demon that might wander close to his home. He doesn't need to become Shinjuro's Tsuguko and get himself inducted into the core. Demons of the 12 demon moons would not possibly wander into the remote location where his home is in the mountains. Haruto has no need to be a demon slayer to protect his family. So what is it? What is Haruto's real reason for becoming a demon slayer? There's no demon here. Are you sure this is the correct place? Kane watched on as Haruto was so very close to strangling his Kasugai crow for making them run around in circles. It's here. Our information network said so. Well, then the information network is clearly wrong. Haruto seethed. Who knows where the demon may be now? Maybe we should wait for further dash. No. A second wasted here is a second more dangerous for the demon's next victim. We are tracking the demon down manually, screw whatever the information network says. Haruto cuts her off before she can get her point across. There's logic to his words, and she knows Haruto is more than capable of tracking down demons using only his nose. Thus, they continued their trek as they kept running to wherever Haruto's nose pointed them to. It took them a few days, but it didn't take them long to realize that they are going back into the direction which they first came from. The area where Haruto's home is. F-. She heard him swearing up a storm as he picked up his pace, and she followed close behind. They have been traveling non-stop without rest for 2 whole days. They are getting closer and closer to the area where his house is, the same direction the demon is heading to. She knows how important his family is to him. Protecting them is the reason why he became a demon slayer in the first place. Haruto, I'll go check the town. You go check on your family. Thanks. He replied without looking back and faded out of view. The next thing she knew, he's already ahead and heading for the mountain where his family is. She took a left and headed for the town at the bottom of the mountain. The chances of the demon appearing within the town is much higher because there are more people here for the demon to feast on, so she must be on alert. She will not let a demon claim another victim if she can help it. Not on her watch. Father! Father! She couldn't believe her eyes either. But why did the demon appear in the mountain where Haruto's family is? Once she had quickly made her rounds and was extremely sure that the demon couldn't be hiding in the town, she headed up for the mountain to meet with Haruto. It was past midnight by then. The only sight that greeted her was a large amount of blood splattered around the front of the Kamido's house and Haruto kneeling over his father's body together with the rest of his family. No way. But why were they still too late? Tanjiro was still eating and laughing with them just a few days before. Why is it the kind people who always die first? You all are coming with me, mother. I'm not going to accept any objections. But Haruto, this is our ancestral home. And our home is no longer safe. Haruto bit out harshly. If it wasn't for father holding out long enough for me to arrive, all of you would have died to that demon. I cannot protect you forever, not when I just found out that there are now demons who can temporarily withstand the effects of wisteria incense lurking about in this area. That demon just now was on par with the lower moons of the 12 demon moons, the 12 strongest demons in existence under Musen's command. We are moving. Kane can only watch as Haruto continues to have a heated argument with his mother. She and Haruto's siblings can only watch from the side. Kane-san? W's what K killed father, really a demon? Yes. She replied to Tanjiro's question honestly. Your brother and I, we are demon slayers. We slay demons. Sorry. I'm sorry for not getting here fast enough to be of help. We were tracking the demon down only to track it back here. This shouldn't have happened, I'm sorry. It's the demon who needs to be sorry. Nezuko cried out as tears fell freely down her face. Father he dash. The only thing Kane can do is to hug Haruto's siblings close. They are so very lucky to be alive. If it wasn't for Tanjiro who kept the demon busy long enough for Haruto to show up, the entire Kamido family would have been massacred. Tanjiro doesn't have a Nichiren blade, so he could not kill the demon. It doesn't help that his body is already very frail to begin with due to his illness. He passed away in Haruto's arms not long after Haruto arrived. Upon Haruto's insistence, the entire Kamido family packed up and left the mountain the next morning after they had laid Tanjiro to rest. In Haruto's hands are the Hanafuda earrings Tanjiro passed to him before he passed away. Tanjiro here. You keep these. But Oniai-chan. These are dash. Father left these for you. And I'm not going to be the one who will succeed them, not with what I'm currently doing. You take these, it's final. Throughout the entire journey, Haruto didn't talk much. Kane knows that he must be feeling a lot of grief, sorrow, regret, and guilt for not being there in time to save his father, but there's really nothing she can do for him at this moment. Haruto's family are equally distraught at Tanjiro's death, but it is also obvious that they are worried about Haruto's mental state. Yet, there's nothing which they can really do. His big brother is always so strong, so dependable, so loving. Ever since he could remember, his big brother is always smiling at him and their siblings with that kind smile. Like their father, he is always quiet and composed, like a slow hot flame burning quietly within the charcoal. His big brother is kind. Like him, he has the same keen sense of smell that he can use to differentiate the emotions wafting from other people. All he can smell from his big brother is a sense of protective kindness, the will to protect the entire family. And when he was 9, his big brother left the family because he said he found work as a beast hunter, one that would pay a lot and help feed the family. His big brother told him that he is the man of the house now that he isn't around. Their father's health is not getting any better, and so, he has to take on the responsibility to hold the family together. He agreed, not wanting to disappoint his big brother. He can tell that his big brother is lying about his new job. His sense said it all. Still, Tanjiro did not expose the lie. His big brother must be doing it for a reason. He's still the same strong and kind big brother he knows. Over the next 2 years, his big brother would often come back to visit. He now has a black sword that he carries with him all the time. That further affirmed Tanjiro's belief that his big brother is no mere beast hunter. There are better and more practical ways to hunt beasts than using a sword. His brother always has a faint smell of blood on him too whenever he comes for a visit, obviously having hunted something before making his way back home. His big brother is a hunter, just not a beast hunter. The little bags of good luck charm that he made for all of them are a little weird too. All that is inside the bag are flowers. Their mother said that those are wisteria flowers and that they should all bring it around with them at all times. Their mother also started to burn wisteria incense every night before going to bed, saying that it will help ward off evil spirits. Every single time his big brother returns, he will dance the dance of the fire god for them to see because they all love to see him dance. His big brother had truly inherited and mastered the dance of the fire god to an extent where even their father said that Haruto had surpassed him. After every time his big brother ended the dance, he would turn around and ask him if he had seen and understood it all. It's like his big brother wants him to be the one to be the successor of the dance of the fire god. He doesn't want to disappoint his big brother, so he practiced hard in doing the dance. Tried as he might, he could never do it as well as his big brother. He couldn't even complete half of the dance. That night wasn't supposed to be any different from other nights. He and Nezuko had just tucked their siblings into bed. Of course, they still weren't asleep, instead busy gossiping about the Kane-Wani-san that Haruto had brought back, but at least they are now lying in their futons. That lady has to be his girlfriend, right? Why else would their Oni-chan bring her back home to meet them? That had been the topic of their conversations for a few days now, ever since the both of them had left all of a sudden in the middle of the night. Then they heard it, a loud screech that gave them the chills just by hearing it. That was no ordinary animal. He jumped out of bed, ready to fight whatever that might threaten his family, even if his legs are shaking just by hearing that frightening cry. He ran out of the room, telling Nezuko to make sure that she keeps the rest of their siblings safe inside the house. He met his father at the front porch, who is already armed with an axe. Father. What was dash? His father merely ruffled his hair fondly with a gentle smile on his face. Stay here, Tanjiro, I will handle it. I will dance till sunrise if need be. You make sure that the wisteria incense keeps on burning, okay? They saw it, that horrifying-looking abomination. His father ran up to it without a shred of hesitation with only an axe in hand, and Tanjiro can do nothing but watch helplessly. He remembered his father's words and quickly brought out the small pot that is burning the wisteria incense. It is still burning. He added more of the incense and quickly fanned the fumes towards the monster. There must be a reason why his father told him to keep burning the incense. Maybe the monster hates it? His father beheaded the monster many times, but no matter how many times he did it, the monster simply reattached its head back without a single scratch. Tanjiro can only watch with bated breath. His father is not in the pink of health, and he always coughed himself to sleep. There's no way he can continue to hold back the demon for long. Is there nothing else he can do? His father's coughing fit made itself known again. It made him falter. The demon took the opportunity and punched its fist through their father. Tanjiro remembered shouting in worry and rage as he ran up to his father, calling after him in worry and ready to fight that monster with his bare fists. The monster turned its attention to him, claws outstretched and ready to kill him too. Get away from him. The furious shout of a familiar voice saved him. His older brother descended from the skies in fury, sword drawn. In one strike he cut the demon down. The demon never got back up and disintegrated into dust before their eyes. "Father! Father! It's me, Haruto! Father!" They kneeled by his side with his big brother supporting their father. The entire family had emerged from the hiding spots in their house after hearing the commotion and had run up to them in worry upon seeing the large amount of blood. "Huh, Haruto? It's me. It's me." Their big brother had never looked so frantic before, using his hands to try and stop the bleeding. "Don't talk. Just let me do something to stop the bleeding. Why, you'll be okay. You dash. It's fine. I'm glad I can see you one last time. I'm glad I can see all of you one last time." Their father said weakly, that same smile still on his face. With some difficulty he managed to remove the Hanafuda earrings from his ears and slowly held them out in front of Haruto. "Wear these. You are now the successor of the dance of the fire god." "I'm not accepting it," his big brother roared out, still trying to stop the blood from flowing out. "I don't care about some stupid earrings. I just want you to be alive. You keep it. I want you wearing these earrings before I go. Please." His big brother froze. He saw how his big brother's expression changed into despair at those words. He could never forget how haunted his big brother's face looked like at that moment when he wore those Hanafuda earrings for their father. It was the first and last time their father would ever see his big brother wear their family heirloom. His big brother all but forced them to move out of their ancestral home after laying their father to rest, saying that this place is no longer safe to stay. It was then they knew the truth about his job. Their big brother is a demon slayer. Demons are real. The one that killed their father is a true demon. Not only that, their big brother is one of the strongest demon slayers currently in existence, a Hashira. He brought them back to the HQ of the Demon Slayer Corps. The leader, Hinokami Kagura, welcomed them with open arms and even gave them a place to stay in the HQ. Their big brother said that this is the safest place away from demons and tell them to live their lives happily however they want to. But after seeing how their father was killed, Tanjiro made up his mind. I want to be a demon slayer too, Oni-chan. Teach me." No. The refusal was swift and decisive. I became a demon slayer so that nobody else in our family has to be one." His big brother explained. "To be a demon slayer is to sign away your life and accept the fact that you will die young. That's the last thing I want to see happening to any of you. That is why I cannot be the one to succeed the Hanafuda earrings. I probably will not live long enough to pass it down to the next generation." "Big brother." His big brother looked at him with an unreadable look on his face. However, his eyes betrayed the inner conflict he is having. His big brother sighed. "If you truly want to become a demon slayer, then master the dance of the fire god. I got this far because of the dance. Be capable of dancing it from sunset to sunrise without stopping, then we will continue this conversation." His big brother turned to leave and Tanjiro could smell it. The grief, sorrow, regret, and self-loathing. The smell is so strong that it is practically emanating out from his big brother. He made up his mind as he watched his big brother's departing back. He will be a demon slayer so that his big brother would not need to do this alone. He will dance the dance of the fire god alongside his big brother and protect their family. He will grow stronger, starting from learning how to dance the dance of the fire god. "Hello, Haruto-kun. It's my first time attending a Hashira meeting. Please take care of me." It's been a year since that day. She had become a Hashira in this PRD of time, finally reaching the goal she had set for herself and is now standing alongside him as an equal. "You can handle yourself." Oh my, the fiery fire Hashira is still as cold as ever, she said with a laugh, knowing that there's no real bite in his words. On the contrary, what he said had meant that he had acknowledged her strength. She had spent enough time with him in the past year to know what the hidden meaning behind his words are. She dare say that they are friends now, even if he is the reluctant party in this matter. "Say, shall we go spar after the meeting is over? It's been a long time since we've crossed blades. I'm going on a mission right after the meeting." "Oh, can I tag along?" No. Haruto-kun, that's not very nice. I'm not here to make friends. And yet, here we are. It's a one-sided affair on your end. She smiled, knowing that this man often said the very opposite of what he meant. If he truly doesn't want to befriend her, there are many things that he could have done, like chasing her away from his side, for one. He never did that no matter how she talked his ears off. Despite what he often claims, that his only motivation in joining the Corps is to protect his family, she knows better. She saw how he often willingly put himself in harm's way to protect fellow slayers and civilians from demons. He's actually selfless to a fault. He's someone worthy of the title of a Hashira. He's still the same person who she looks up to, the same person who she strives to be. The Hashira meeting didn't take long. They ended up making a detour to the butterfly estate. She knows that he is visiting his mother and siblings before he leaves for another mission. His mother and some of his siblings who are a little older had volunteered to help out in the Corps wherever they can, be it cooking, doing the laundry, or other menial chores. Nothing Haruto did can stop them, so he let them be. Haruto? Oh, Kani-chan. Do you two need anything? No. I just want to see you before I leave for my next mission. I will probably be gone for at least a month. Haruto replied as he helped to hang some of the laundry. Key was hanging out in the sun to dry. Stay safe, Haruto. I will. Don't worry too much about me. Can you look after him for me, okay? Will do, Kyoba-san. Mother. I don't care if you are one of the strongest demon slayers in the Corps. Even you need someone to look after you every once in a while. Kane watched on in amusement as Haruto's mother pulled on his ear and began to tell him off. You haven't been rude to her when I'm not around, are you? No dash. Yes, he was. Kane spilled the beans without a single moment of hesitation. I asked him if I could tag along and he just refused immediately. The glare Haruto gave her made her laugh with a hand over her mouth. She continues to watch as Ki starts to tear into her eldest son without mercy. Ah, it's so fun to mess around with Haruto from time to time. I only agreed to bring you along. She wasn't included in the deal. There's no way I can let you and Nae-san go on missions alone. Who knows what you might do to her? Trust me, you should instead be worried about what she might do to me. Oh my, the two of you should get along and stop fighting. She cheerfully got in the way of the argument of her sister and Haruto. Oyakata-sama said that this mission may be a difficult one because more than 60 people had gone missing and none of our slayers that were sent out had returned, so it might be an upper moon we will be going up against. So don't fight among ourselves, okay? Just don't get in my way, shorty. What did you say? I said dash. Alright, that's enough from the both of you. Kane covered both their mouths with her hands before dragging them along with a smile on her face. Let's get going, shall we? I know Kyoba-san will be looking after Kaneo in our absence, but I don't want to leave Kaneo's side for too long if I can help it. Let's just finish investigating this matter and be on our way, alright? See how I did my sunflower move? Yes, I know we use different breath styles, but this is how you do a proper move of the sword. Do it again. Crazy stupid dash. Say that again and I will increase the number of repetitions. Kane tried her best to stifle her laughter as she witnessed how Haruto is teaching Shinobu how to properly do a sword move. Shinobu is probably the only slayer in the Corps who cannot behead a demon, relying on her poison and speed to kill them instead. Her sword's purpose is to inject her poison into them, which means that she has to be an expert in moving her sword if she wants to be stronger. Thus, leading them to their current situation, with Haruto teaching Shinobu the more complex blade works that Haruto felt that she should know. Ah, the both of you are getting along so well. Like hell I am getting along with this emotionless brick. It's an ungrateful matchstick. What did you say? Yup, they are getting along swimmingly well. So, you are the prodigy that I had been hearing about? Haruto merely sent the newly appointed Wind Hashira a disinterested glance before walking off. Hey, at least answer when I'm talking to you. Oh, he's always like this, Shinazugawa-san, don't take it to heart. Kane chirped as she waved her hand flippantly before calling after the departing fire pillar. Hey Haruto. There was no response, further proving Kane's point. There see. Teeth. Arrogant a-hole. Shinazugawa Sanemi clicked his tongue in annoyance before stomping off. Kane merely giggled at the sight before heading towards the butterfly estate. And it was like this big. She found her youngest sister right away, who was listening to Tanjiro's story in total fascination. The both of them are just so cute together. Love is already in the air. Kaneo-chan. Tanjiro-kun. Kane-san. Tanjiro's face lit up upon spotting her. Kaneo's facial expression is as passive as ever, but Kane can see how her eyes had lit up as well upon her appearance. Aren't you two just adorable? When are you two getting married to each other? Kane cannot help but squeal over their cuteness as she knelt down and hugged the two children close to her. Both the children's faces turned bright red in a matter of seconds, even brighter than what her Nichiren blade could glow when heated. Kane-san. Tanjiro squirmed indignantly in her arms, futile trying to escape her grip. Stronger beings than him had tried and failed. He's not getting away so easily for stealing her younger sister's heart. I would appreciate it if you could stop tormenting my younger brother, Kane. I knew you would appear if I did this, she said with a laugh and released the two children in her arms the moment she heard that familiar voice. She stood up and turned around, spotting her friend immediately. What do you want? Can't I just be here to visit a friend? He let out a soft sigh before walking away. She followed after him with a skip in her steps, continuing to pester him like how she always does. Let me guess, training again? Chen. You don't mind if I become your sparring partner for today, right? Alright, thanks. Don't worry, I'm sure I can last a lot longer against you as compared to before. Haruto suddenly paused in his tracks, as if remembering something. That Wind Hashira did try to get me to fight him just now, right? You only just realized? I wasn't paying attention. He replied before changing direction and headed to where they know Shinazugawa will be right now. Oh, and what were you thinking back there? What got you so distracted? Mum steamed buns, but they would only be ready in about an hour. I might as well go for a spar against another Hashira to pass the time. Ki-Oba-san steamed buns. No wonder, she exclaimed in realization. Everyone in the Demon Slayer Corps loves Ki's cooking, especially her steamed buns. She continues to walk alongside her friend, her motor mouth still doing enough talking for the both of them. So what would it be? You taking us on 2-on-1? Or a 1-on-1 match against him? Or, I'm fine with anything as long as I get to cross blades with him. I won't even care if it is a free-for-all. F-. How the F are you so demon strong? I practiced. I replied in a monotone as I sheathed my sword. Shinazugawa is still struggling to stand up from where I had just beat him into the ground. I recalled very clearly just how powerful he was in canon, but he is nowhere near that level of strength right now as far as I could tell in our earlier spar. He still has some ways to go. But it won't be long before he gets to that level of strength. Shinazugawa is strong, there is no doubt in my mind regarding this issue. Thief, just you wait. I will defeat you one day. I'll be waiting, I replied as I turned and walked away. I would be very happy if he can defeat me. After all, the only Hashira who can match me in strength right now is Himejima. If Shinazugawa can defeat me, it means that he has surpassed what he could achieve in canon. The stronger the Hashiras are, the better our chances are in erasing Muzan from existence as soon as possible. Come to think about it, I should really start preparing in advance by gathering all the elements needed to kill Muzan as soon as possible. In canon, that demon lady was a key player in ending Muzan, wasn't she? What was her name again? Tamayo. It's time I seek her out. Here, Oni-chan. These are for you. Tanjiro presented his present to his big brother, his younger siblings beside him. The job of his younger siblings is to eagerly stare at their big brother with their big watery eyes that he has very little resistance to, persuading him to accept the gift that they made for him. How? Tanjiro let out a big smile. It was a little difficult, but they managed to make a perfect replica of their family's heirloom, the Hanafuda earrings. With that, now their big brother has no excuse to not wear it. Tanjiro pointed to the replica of the earrings hanging from his ears. The pair that had been passed down in their family for generations is the pair they are trying to get their big brother to wear. Like this, he's technically not going against their big brother's instructions while getting their big brother to wear the family heirloom that is rightfully his to succeed. I'm wearing it too like you said, see? So you should wear it too. Yeah, wear it too, Haruto Oniai-chan. Hinako encouraged, eagerness clear in her eyes. Her words were quickly backed up by the rest of their siblings. Their big brother merely let out an exasperated sigh, but there's no mistaking the faint smile on his face. All right. Their older brother carefully wore the Hanafuda earrings on his ears, causing them all to break out into smiles. Does it look good on me? Of course. Shigeru exclaimed. It looks like it's supposed to be there all along. Their older brother hummed a wordless reply and ruffled their hair. I'll be off now. Take care of Mum and each other while I'm gone. Okay. We will all learn the dance of the fire god in the meantime. It's fine if you guys want to learn for the sake of tradition, but if any of you other than Tanjiro is learning the dance to slay demons. Their big brother left the unsaid warning in the air, daring them to continue. Why not? Takeo exclaimed. We are all Kamidos like you too. And more than that, we all want to avenge father and kill Muzan. I became a demon slayer so that none of you needs to be one. Their big brother emphasized, his tone strict and furious. Obviously, I had failed, seeing as how I cannot stop Tanjiro from trying to master it for the sole purpose of slaying demons. Haruto's glare briefly turned to Tanjiro for a second, causing Tanjiro to gulp nervously. But I will be demed if any more of us becomes a part of the core. To be a demon slayer is to pledge your whole life to slay demons and nothing else, to accept the fact that you are never going to live past 20, and that is a life I don't want to see any of you living. I am doing this precisely because I do not want to see any of you following in my footsteps. Oni-dash. This matter is closed. I'm off. Haruto spoke in a harsh tone that hinted at them that there is no more room for discussion in this matter before turning and walking away, leaving them to watch his departing back. Don't hate Oniai-chan for it. Tanjiro turned back to his siblings with a forced smile. Oniai, he's just worried about us. I guess father's death had hit him really hard. I can still smell the strong sense of guilt and self-loathing coming from him even after so long. We know. Hinako replied, her face downcast. But we just want to help. Even Kaneo-chan is learning how to be a proper demon slayer, right? And she's not any much older than me. Oniai-chan did say that he doesn't want us to learn the dance of the fire god for the purpose of slaying demons, but he never said anything about us not being able to learn it at all. Nezuko trailed off, and their eyes all widened in realization at the loophole that they can exploit. That's it. Come on, Tanjiro and I. Teach us. Takeo pulled Tanjiro along as he began to drag him to the training field that the demon slayers would use to hone their skills in their free time. The six of them began to make their way to the training field, excited at the thought of being able to finally learn about their family tradition. This time, their eldest brother will not need to dance alone. This time, they will dance with him from sunset to sunrise. How did you find our location? I admit that your blood demon arts is good. It actually took me months to track down your location. But while your blood demon arts may fool my sense of sight, it cannot fool my sense of smell. The demon slayer said in a calm and unhurried voice, as if he hadn't just casually walked through the illusion he had painstakingly set up to mask the location of their clinic. Sense of smell? How could anyone break through his illusion through smell alone? Yashiro doesn't have time to think. He immediately put himself in front of Lady Tamayo and took out his paper talisman, ready to sacrifice himself if need be. He can feel it, that this demon slayer is absurdly powerful. Just by being in his presence is making him tremble in fear, but he will not falter. He will protect Lady Tamayo. Wait, Yashiro. I have something to ask this man. Tamayo used a finger to tap on Yashiro's shoulder from behind, making him pause. Tamayo took another careful look at the demon slayer in front of them, and Yashiro saw how her eyes were glued to the Hanafuda earrings the demon slayer is wearing. Those earrings, how and where did you get them? This. The demon slayer idly raised a hand to touch one of the earrings upon Tamayo's mention of it. It's a family heirloom passed down through the generations. You know about it? The demon slayer who saved me from Muzan once wore the exact same earrings. Tamayo replied in that usual calm and composed manner. Yashiro saw how the demon slayer's eyebrows went a little higher upon hearing Lady Tamayo's words. I'll just ask you a single question, and don't bother lying because I will be able to tell through your breathing. What is Muzan to you? My sworn enemy. Tamayo replied with a tone laced with silent fury, one that only Yashiro is able to pick up on because he had been with her for so long. The demon slayer remained silent for a short moment upon hearing Tamayo's answer. Finally, he spoke up. I guess we have a lot to talk about, Ms. Tamayo. Call me Tamayo. This is Yashiro. You are Haruto. Kamadu Haruto. I see, so that's how you met the original user of the Breath of the Sun. That was why I was so surprised when I saw you walking in with those exact same earrings. I had no idea he passed on his breath style down to someone. Tamayo admitted while sipping on some tea. But back to the topic at hand. Yes, I could probably make some headway in researching ways to convert demons back to humans and also to create something that might kill Muzan. However, I currently do not have the things needed to embark on such an endeavor. And what might that be? I need the blood of strong demons, and by that, I mean blood from demons of the 12 demon moons, because only such demons would have a large concentration of Muzan's blood flowing within them. If you can get me enough blood samples, I could probably make some headway in researching a method that can take Muzan down once and for all. Consider it done. Haruto replied without a shred of hesitation. I am a Hashira, slaying demons is my duty in the first place. Although, I will have to report to Oyakata-sama about such an important arrangement being made. Do not worry, I will talk to him in private and I will not leak about your existence to the other slayers without Oyakata-sama's XPLCT permission or yours, but personally, I am inclined to believe that he will be very happy to be able to work alongside you. Any enemy of Muzan is a friend of ours. You would believe a demon like me? Tamayo cannot help but ask in curiosity. I cannot smell a hint of deceit from you, nor do I hear any discrepancies in your breathing that might suggest that you are lying. Haruto replied in that same calm and emotionless manner. Besides, is it really a good thing for a demon like you to so readily place your trust in a demon slayer like me? Tamayo let out a soft laugh at Haruto's words. You have a point. She conceded. Very well, we will keep in contact. I hope to hear good news from you and the Demon Slayer Corps soon. A remedy to turn demons back into humans. Ubuyashiki Kagaya paced about in thought, obviously excited at the news his fire Hashira had just brought back. I believe this venture is worth a shot, Oyakata-sama. Like I said, I do not sense a single hint of deceit from her during our conversation, and what she told me about the confrontation between Muzan and Sujikuni Yorichi from long ago are vital information that we sorely need to bring Muzan down. 7 hearts and 5 brains. Ubuyashiki nodded with a concerned frown on his face. That means that to kill him, we need to aim for all 12 spots simultaneously, but considering how powerful Muzan is, that might be impossible even if we mobilize all of our Hashiras to fight him, so the only way left is to fight him until sunrise. Ubuyashiki remained silent as Haruto completed his sentence in that usual calm voice. My dance of the fire god was precisely designed to do just that, to dance from sunset to sunrise. The dance of the fire god has 12 forms in total. Muzan has 7 hearts and 5 brains, also totaling to 12 targets to destroy in total. The earrings and the purpose of the dance of the fire god that had been passed down within my family for generations, I do not believe that was a mere coincidence. My family must have met Sujikuni Yorichi at some point. No matter how I thought about it, the dance of the fire god must have been taught to my ancestors by Tsujikuni himself. Which also means that the dance of the fire god is in actuality the breath of the sun. Ubuyashiki agreed. But Haruto, did your father ever mention anything about this? Unfortunately, no. He never told me the origins about the dance of the fire god or the Hanafuda earrings, only that it is a tradition passed down through our family from father to son for generations. Haruto replied respectfully. Now that Tamayo had told us about what she knew about Tsujikuni Yorichi and Muzan, I believe that the reason Tsujikuni designed the dance of the fire god the way he did was because he believed that killing Muzan through the conventional method is simply not possible. The only thing that could ever kill Muzan is the sun itself. And that's why the dance of the fire god requires the user to dance all 12 forms repeatedly from sunset until sunrise. It is to stall for time until the sun comes out. Abayashiki nodded in agreement. So now we have a concrete answer regarding how to destroy Muzan's immortality. The only way to kill him in a fight is to last long enough to see the next sunrise. Abayashiki then turned back to face Haruto. Haruto, I know this may sound disrespectful because the dance of the fire god is your family's tradition and heirloom, but in light of what we had just found out, I believe that we need more users of the breath of the sun within the core. Is it possible for you to take on a Tsuguko and pass down what you know? Tanjiro did mention wanting to become a demon slayer, did he not? With all due respect, Oyakata-sama, I originally became a demon slayer because I do not want any of my siblings to become one. Haruto replied, and Abayashiki could clearly see how Haruto's calm facade was obviously on the verge of breaking. Haruto took a deep breath to recollect himself before letting out a sigh. But at the same time, I cannot dictate what they should and should not do with their lives. Only they have the right to decide the path that they want to walk on, just like how my father allowed me to make my choice when I decided to become a demon slayer. I will ask Tanjiro if he is truly serious in wanting to be a demon slayer, and if so, I will take him in as my Tsuguko. Thank you, Haruto. Abayashiki thanked from the bottom of his heart. That is already a lot more than I could ask. About the arrangement with Tamayo. I trust you, Haruto, and given the possible ramifications it may have if Tamayo really did succeed in creating a remedy, there is no reason for me to say no. I will hold another Hashira meeting to discuss this issue the moment all the Hashiras are back. We will decide on a more concrete course of action then. Also, you might not have heard this yet because you had just returned, but Kayajuro became the new Flame Hashira while you were away. Haruto had a brief look of surprise on his face for a short second, but quickly recovered himself and gave another bow in acknowledgement. Even then, Abayashiki knows that Haruto is secretly happy for his friend's accomplishment. Understood, Oyakata-sama. Haruto, my friend. You are finally back. Kayajuro smiled as his best friend walked up to him with a very faint smile. Finally. He finally caught up to him. Congratulations, Kayajuro. Haruto congratulated Kayajuro the moment they were side by side. Sorry that I wasn't able to be there with you when you officially received the title. The Fire and Flame Hashiras. The fiery duo of the core. We are going to set the demons ablaze, that's what. Kayajuro exclaimed in that usual upbeat manner of his, something that he knows never fails to get his friend into a good mood. That we are. Say, Haruto, I didn't know you were taking your siblings in as your Tsugukos. Nezuko is very talented too. Haruo blinked his eyes at him in confusion. I never told them anything about me taking them on as my Tsukugos, yet. I mean, I might be planning to take Tanjiro as one, but that is something that I only just agreed to during my meeting with Oyakata-sama just now. Nobody else should know about this yet. Really? Then why have they been practicing your breath of fire in the months that you were away? Haruto stopped in his tracks and blinked his eyes in confusion again. A frown worked its way up on his face until Haruto suddenly sported a look of realization. Those brats, they couldn't have. Kayajuro watched in confusion as Haruto suddenly walked briskly in the direction where his family are currently staying within the core HQ. Did he just say something that he is not supposed to say? You guys have some explaining to do. You just want to dance alongside you. Please. I can smell it from here, every single one of you. Be truthful before I blow my top. The 6 of them looked away guiltily. You guys had Tanjiro teach you the dance of the fire god in order to become a demon slayer, am I right? Haruto said in a stern voice, causing all 6 of them to flinch upon seeing how their eldest brother had hit the mark so accurately. Didn't I tell you before I left? It's fine if you guys want to learn the dance for the sake of tradition, but if you learn it for the sole purpose to slay demons, then it is something that I will not allow. I had told all of you many times that I became a demon slayer so that none of you needs to be one. And you, Tanjiro, why did you agree to their demands in the first place? As the eldest when I am not around, you should be the voice of reason. We just want to help lessen your burden. Tanjiro exclaimed. You are always doing everything by yourself, Oni-chan. And the smell that you always give off, it reeks of guilt, sorrow, and self-loathing ever since father died. I don't want you to feel this way. I don't want you to feel as if father's death is entirely your fault. So that's why we are trying to learn the dance of the fire god to lessen your burden. If we can be as strong as you, we can go slay demons together and help protect each other. You would not need to shoulder everything by yourself if we can help you. The room fell into silence after Tanjiro's outburst, with Haruto staring at them with an unreadable expression on his face. Am I intruding? Kagura poked his head into the room with that usual sunny smile, brightening the atmosphere in an instant. What do you need? Haruto asked without turning around to face the flame Hashira, his voice betraying nothing but it is obvious that he is in a bad mood. Just trying to tell you that maybe you should give them a chance to prove themselves. Rather than being all strict on them, which will instead encourage them to try and fumble about on their own behind our backs without anyone's supervision, why not give them a little leeway to learn your breath style under your guidance? At least this way, you can keep a proper eye on them. Haruto shot him a harsh glare that had Kagura do the smart thing and clamp his mouth shut immediately, but Kagura had never claimed that he is smart. He reopened his traitorous mouth in the very next instance. How about you watch them perform your dance of the fire god before deciding on what to do next? Who knows, maybe they will give you a big surprise. I'm right, aren't I? Nezuko is a prodigy. Look at how fluid her motions are. Kagura kept up the one-sided conversation as he and Haruto watched the Kamado siblings trying to dance the complete set of the dance of the fire god. Haruto is understandably not happy at how his younger siblings went behind his back to learn about his family's tradition for the sole sake of slaying demons, a kind of life that he was fighting to have them avoid as much as he possibly can. It was his sole reason for joining the Demon Slayer Corps in the first place, to allow his siblings to live a life free from the threat of demons. Right in the practice field, his siblings are trying to perform the dance of the fire god like what they often see their eldest brother do. Most of them are not doing a great job at it due to their young age. Their movements are just too clumsy. Tanjiro is doing okay because Haruto had been teaching him about it for a while now, but the person who surprised them the most is Nezuko. She is actually keeping up with Tanjiro in performing the dance of the fire god. DM it. Kagura heard Haruto mutter under his breath as he face-bombed. This is not what I had in mind when I taught Tanjiro the dance of the fire god. This is not what I want them to use the dance of the fire god for. I just want to protect them, and here they are, trying to actively seek out the one thing I'm trying to keep them away from. So what will you do now? Kagura asked. What else can I do now that they have shown me such determination? Like you said, they are going to do this with or without my permission, like how I did when I first followed after your father. Haruto huffed with an exasperated "T." But right now, I will only allow Tanjiro and Nezuko to learn how to use a blade. The rest of them are still too young to be demon slayers, and more likely than not, they hadn't thought things through when trying to learn the dance of the fire god. I don't want them to ever regret taking the path which they had chosen. And do you? I mean, do you regret your decision to become a demon slayer? No. Haruto replied immediately. This is the only way I know to keep my family safe from demons, so no. I never regretted my decision, not even for a second. So, Kagura trailed off, not really knowing how to broach the topic. How are you going to explain this to Kyoba-san? No, absolutely not. I'm already against Haruto for becoming a demon slayer, but not you two too. Tanjiro, Nezuko. Becoming a demon slayer is a dangerous job. You saw for yourselves how many casualties the Kakushi brings in every day. It's no laughing matter. We know, that's why we want to be demon slayers. Tanjiro stood his ground. He had long since decided that he will not back down. He will, and he wants to be a demon slayer, he is sure about it. We lost father because of demons. We don't want that to happen to us again, or anyone for that matter. Nezuko spoke up. If we can kill even one single demon, then it will be one demon less that plagues the world. You two dash. Are you even listening to yourselves right now? And Haruto, what were you thinking? Are you going to let your siblings follow your footsteps? Unless you want me to chain them down forever to prevent them from ever stepping out of this door, which we all know is not going to happen. Tanjiro watched as his big brother gave another tired sigh. Do not be mistaken, mother, I am not happy about this too, but no one has a say in how another person has to live their life. If Tanjiro and Nezuko are absolutely certain that they want to be demon slayers, there's nothing we can do to stop them. They will become one somehow, with or without our blessings. In that case, then I would rather equip them with as much knowledge and skills as I possibly can. Haruto dash. I can only promise to take care of them as best as possible. Taking them in as my Tsugukos is the best I can do to protect them without having to coddle them as fellow demon slayers. Haruto said in that usual calm voice before bowing down to their mother. I will protect Tanjiro and Nezuko with my life, so mother, please, trust us. Ki looks on the verge of tearing out her hair, but she accepts the outcome nevertheless. Just you three. I do not want to see another child of mine to ever pick up a Nichiren blade, so no matter what happens, only the three of you will ever wear that uniform and be demon slayers. I do not care what anyone else says, even if it is Oyakata-sama. I am a mother first and foremost, and the last thing I want to experience is to see a child of mine die before I do. I will not let that happen. Haruto said with a determination so fierce that it got Tanjiro to look at his eldest brother. The scent he is giving off right now burns so strongly of protectiveness. Haruto took a brief pause before continuing his speech. And yes, I also agree with you, mother. I do not want to see another of my siblings wearing that uniform or picking up a Nichiren blade. I will discuss this with Oyakata-sama and arrange it such that the three of us will be the only and last Kamidos to be demon slayers. Takeo, Hanako, Shigeru, and Rokuta will never need to pick up a Nichiren blade if I have a say in it. Please make sure that you do, Haruto. Their mother said tiredly. I do not want to lose any of you, especially to demons. Throughout it all, Tanjiro and Nezuko can only remain in silence. Amain-sama, are you heading somewhere? Ah, Haruto-kun. Amain returned the greeting. And yes, I have somewhere to be. Are you going alone without any guards? I cannot help but say with a slight frown. Our respect for her aside, Amain is important to the core. She is Oyakata-sama's most valuable helper. One can argue that without her, the core would not be able to function as smoothly. It's just a short dash. That means that she is going off somewhere without any guards protecting her. Then I'm coming too, I replied politely, but also with a firm tone that conveyed to her my silent disapproval about her wandering out of HQ alone without any form of protection. I know that Oyakata-sama and Amain-sama dislikes having guards around his mansion, feeling that it is a waste of valuable manpower that could otherwise be better used in slaying demons. However, we Hashiras begged to differ. In our opinion, none of us would make a single complaint even if he made us guard his home round the clock, because to us, such an endeavor is both necessary and worth the effort. He is our leader, and if the leader falls, the organization would follow. He deserves the highest form of protection no matter where he and his family goes. Unfortunately, Oyakata-sama can be very persuasive and is even more stubborn than the Hashira's combined might. So even till now, there are no guards around his home. The only thing protecting him and his family is the secrecy of his mansion's location. And now, Amain is going off somewhere, alone, without us Hashiras knowing. This lack of security is unacceptable. If Muzan and his demons ever caught wind of her doing something like that, they would converge on her the moment she took a single step out of the mansion. The core cannot afford to lose Amain. Haruto dash. Amain-sama. I gently insisted as I stood in front of her. Please do not have such a low opinion of your importance to us demon slayers and to the core. I understand where you and Oyakata-sama are coming from, that both of you felt that having us demon slayers and Hashiras acting as your personal bodyguards is a waste of valuable resources. However, you are our leaders, physically and spiritually. If anything were to happen to any of you, there would only be negative repercussions. Amain remained silent, probably not knowing how to make a reply to my statement. I do not know where you are going and I won't ask, but if you feel that having a group of slayers following after you for your protection is a waste of valuable manpower, then please allow at least one of us Hashiras to accompany you. I can volunteer for this job, or if you think that it is inconvenient for a man like me to follow you around, I am sure that Kane, or other fellow slayers like Shinobu and Kenroji wouldn't mind doing what I cannot. This may sound rude, but for a person of your stature to leave the HQ without any form of protection is quite frankly not a wise decision. Our silent staring continued for a few more seconds before Amain let out a soft sigh. I guess I couldn't argue my way out of this one. I had hoped to sneak out of here without any of you Hashiras realizing, but I guess I was too naive. Amain looked up to face me once more. Very well. Whatever I have to do won't take long and it isn't very far anyway, so I can agree to having you follow me around to where I have to go on a few conditions. Firstly, Kagaya will have to be informed about this. Secondly, it must not interfere with whatever duties you might have right now. I assure you that I'm rather free right now. I replied. In that case, let me inform Kagaya, then we can be on our way. As it turns out, Amain had been regularly leaving the HQ for quite a while before I accidentally bumped into her that day. The reason? There are hopeful candidates that she and Oyakata-sama want to recruit into the corps, even if they are just children right now. In fact, from what I was told, the children are merely a year younger than Tanjiro, the same age as Nezuko. According to Amain, she had been visiting those children ever since spring. It is now summer. Somehow, I cannot help but be impressed that Amain had been going out regularly without any guards by her side for one entire season without us Hashiras realizing it. I'm definitely holding a secret Hashira meeting the moment I get back to address this issue. We can reluctantly accept Oyakata-sama and Amain not wanting their mansion to be guarded by fellow slayers, but we cannot accept any one of them leaving the protection of their home without a single slayer accompanying them. This will have to be rectified. Maybe you can do what I could not. The older twin is really stubborn, not that I blame him for it. Twins. Twins. Amain nodded as we walked along the dirt path up an unnamed mountain filled with trees. They are the descendants of Tsujikuni Michikatsu, the older brother of Tsujikuni Yorichi. Yorichi was the creator of the first breath style that we know today, the breath of the sun that you are using right now. I frowned a little upon hearing Amain's words. I could barely remember anything about Yorichi beyond him being the original user of the breath of the sun and that he somehow passed it on to my ancestor. Whatever extra information that I learnt about him was from my visit to Tamayo. As for this Michikatsu person, my head hurts just by trying to remember who he is, like I should know more about him, but somehow, I just couldn't recall a thing. This sensation was like how I tried remembering the meaning of my family name before I turned 4. In the end, I decided to just let it be. Maybe I would remember more after I see the twins that Amain held in such high regards. Oyakata-sama and you both believe that they have the same potential that their ancestors once possessed. We do. Amain affirmed. From what we can tell, they both live a hard life. Their parents had both passed away last year. Their mother from an incurable cold, and their father fell to his death from a cliff while trying to pick herbs for their mother in an attempt to save her. Right now, they only have each other. I suspect that this is the real reason why the older twin is so adamantly against the idea of them being demon slayers, because he doesn't want his brother to be a demon slayer and lose his life as a result. Amain then turned to me with a somewhat rare cheeky smile on her face. Does that line of reasoning sound familiar? Very. I replied dryly. Should I get Shinazugawa here too? Amain let out a laugh. We can understand each of your reasons, really. Of course, Kagaya and I wouldn't force anyone to be a demon slayer against their will, but it doesn't hurt to try and bolster our strength. My husband and I are not swordsmen, but even we can tell that the twins really hold infinite potential. You can see for yourself once we are there. Their additions to the corps can only be beneficial to our cause should they join, that is what we believe. Throughout it all, there is that nagging feeling at the back of my mind that I would recognize those twins when I see them. Is there a pair of twins in canon that I should really know of and have forgotten? Why are you still here? I told you, didn't I? Go away. You think I have no idea what your true intentions are. You are simply trying to use us. Scram. A basket of something was thrown our way. With a flick of my hand, that basket changed direction and landed somewhere else instead. God, if Amain had indeed been paying them visits since spring and this is the reception she received every single time, I could only imagine the kind of things this older twin had thrown at her since then. Amain didn't flinch nor did she outwardly react. She simply looked at the twins without a change in her facial expression. I'm glad that I accompanied her today. I have a feeling that the usual reception she received is a lot worse whenever she comes here alone. I could see the wary gaze the twins are giving me the moment they spotted the sword attached to the belt on my waist. I also recognized them immediately on sight, and I was reminded just what it is that I had forgotten. One of them has to be the future Miss Tashira, Takito Michiro. It's just that I could not remember if Michiro is the older or younger twin. In fact, I could not recall if he had any family at all. I had forgotten too much, but if Michiro did not have any family members by the time canon rolls around, it would mean that he had lost his twin somewhere down the line. Most demon slayers became slayers because they had lost people close to them, so I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case for Michiro in canon. Looking at the angry older twin, I cannot help but wonder if there is anything that I can do to help given my spotty memories about their history. I glanced at Amain. Whatever approach she took obviously wasn't working. Maybe it's just like she said. Where she had failed, I may succeed. I took a step forward, breaking the tension. The basket that the older twin threw at us earlier had firewood chips in it, and they had all spilled the moment I deflected it. I simply bent down and placed them back into the basket, ignoring everyone else. Here. I handed the basket back to the younger twin, who obviously is more welcoming of our presence. He seems to be more receptive to the idea of becoming a demon slayer. I have no idea if he truly understands what it means to be a demon slayer, but now is not the right time to ask. Thank you. The younger twin mumbled back. The older twin casted a furious glare my way, a glare which I pointedly ignored. We are standing outside the twins' home and I took a sweeping glance at it and their surroundings, trying to understand the kind of lives they lead from what I can observe. You are woodcutters? The younger twin nodded his head in reply. What a coincidence. My family are charcoal sellers. Had been doing it for generations. I said thoughtfully as I helped to clean up the mess the older twin had created in his angry outburst earlier. Don't touch our things with your filthy hands. The older twin ran up and slapped my hand away when I was about to bend down and pick up the axe. He put himself in between his brother and I, seething mad for reasons quite unknown to me. However, I do pick up on his emotions through my sense of smell. Fear, protectiveness, distrust. A small smile graced my lips when I recognized the sense of protectiveness the older twin is emanating. I should have known. He's just like me. And maybe Shinazugawa too, now that I think about it. My name is Kamado Haruto. I don't care. The older twin spat before he dragged his younger brother with him back to their house and slammed the door right in our faces, leaving Amain and I outside in the scorching summer sun. Sorry you have to see that. Amain apologized as she walked up to me. You have nothing to apologize for, Amain-sama. I replied with a smile before turning back to look at the wooden house. If you trust me enough, Amain-sama, do you mind leaving the recruiting to me? I'm not confident enough to say that I can succeed in recruiting them, but maybe if they spend enough time with a demon slayer and understand what a demon slayer really does, their opinions might change. Amain looked at me, then back at the wooden house. Very well. She sighed. This may be a better arrangement. Why are you still here? I cracked open an eye from where I was lying underneath the shade of a tree the entire night until the morning sun rose again, spotting the older twin glaring at me from the door. It's near impossible to differentiate the twins based on their appearance, but it's easier to tell who is who based on their scent. And even without the scent, just the hostility alone is enough to clue me in that I am talking to the older twin. Morning. Don't you morning me. The older twin growled as he picked up an axe and hurled it my way. I simply sat up, allowing the axe to land at where my head was earlier. That was a scarily accurate throw. Liakata-sama and Amain were right. The blood of the first users of the original breath styles do run in their veins. This cannot be attributed to anything else other than natural talent. That could have killed me, you know? Like that would have killed you. The older twin scoffed as he walked up to me and with a vengeful glare, grabbed the axe before leaving, presumably to chop firewood. Yuichiro, what's Kamado-san? It's me. Morning. I greeted the younger twin who had poked his head out to see what the disturbance was about. If he called the older twin Yuichiro, then he must be Michiro. I turned back to the older twin. So, Yuichiro, right? Shut up. Yuichiro growled as he picked up an empty basket and stomped off, but not before barking at his younger brother to prepare breakfast while he went and cut some firewood in the meantime. Sorry about Yuichiro. Michiro apologized. He's just been like this since our parents passed away. I understand. Believe it or not, I was like him too. In fact, we are very similar. I said with a smile. Don't think too badly about your brother. He's just worried about you. Worried? Michiro sputtered, as if not believing anything I said. All he ever does is to scold me, and whenever I try bringing up the topic of us becoming demon slayers like Amain-san suggested, he just flipped. Michiro nodded his head dejectedly and turned back towards the kitchen, probably off to prepare breakfast like Yuichiro told him to. I entered the simplistic house as well. The younger twin didn't say anything as I helped him with preparing breakfast. I decided to break the ice. I don't think I know your name yet. Michiro. Takito Michiro. It's a nice name. I replied. Mu as in Mugen? Infinity? Or more like Mu for invalid? Michiro muttered as he took up a knife to cut a radish. That's what Yuichiro always says, the Mu in my name is in for invalid, the in for ineffective. I could never do anything on my own. I cannot cook rice properly like what Yuichiro can do. I cannot cut firewood properly like he can do. I can never do anything properly on my own, so things like becoming a swordsman to save everyone is nothing but wishful thinking. I remained silent as Michiro continued to cut the radish. All this while, I observed the way he held himself and the knife, seeing how he cut it up so smoothly and rapidly, and yet I can barely see any hints of wasted movements. No wasted movements. I was shocked at the sight. If my gift in using a blade is natural talent, then this boy has at least 10 times my talent in using a sword. Talent. All I can see is talent when I'm looking at Michiro. He is a true genius. The prodigy. I wasn't lying when I said Yuichiro is worried about you. I spoke up as I helped to boil some water. And how would you know? Like him, I am an older brother too. I am the eldest. I have 6 younger siblings. Like Yuichiro, I don't want my younger siblings to be demon slayers if I can help it, although I haven't been successful in preventing 2 of them from following my path. It's something that I struggle with every single second of the day. Michiro looked up at me, obviously interested in hearing what I have to say. You probably don't realize it, Michiro, but behind all the glamour from being a swordsman is never-ending danger and bloodshed. Demon slayers very rarely live beyond 30 years of age. Do you get it now? Why is Yuichiro so adamant against you becoming a demon slayer? It doesn't seem like it with the way he is acting towards me all the time. Not everyone knows how to properly express their innermost thoughts. Your brother is one such person. In fact, I am guilty of it as well. I admitted as memories of the actions I took to dissuade my siblings from becoming demon slayers started to fill my mind. I'm not proud of most of my actions, but back then it was the only way I know how to dissuade them from following my footsteps. I can relate to Yuichiro, very much so. That's it. And Yuichiro, stop hiding behind the wall. There's no way you can hide from me without undergoing the same training I did. I heard a quiet curse being muttered as Yuichiro appeared at the door with an ugly scowl. He has been eavesdropping for quite a while now. Guess him going off to chop firewood was a lie. He probably was hoping that I would leave on my own accord when he stomped off earlier. Breakfast? I offered as I began to help cook the rice. Yuichiro looked at the rice, then back at me. That's our breakfast. We don't have enough to feed you. You go get your own breakfast. Well, fair enough. Meat. I did not stop Michiro from staring at the wild game that I had hunted. His jaws dropped in awe. I could see how he is almost practically salivating all over it. And so, I handed over a wild chicken that I had hunted and grilled to perfection. Here, take it. See, can we? Michiro asked timidly. I simply nodded. I have more than enough. Besides, I can tell that you and Yuichiro barely have enough to feed yourselves. If you think putting up the nice guy act is enough for us to change our minds, then you are dead wrong. Yuichiro said with a sneer as we sat ourselves down around a small table. You are wrong, I'm far from being nice. The nice people are people like Amain-sama and my colleagues, not me. I replied as I ate my breakfast. Michiro is tearing into the grilled chicken that I had given him. The twins obviously had not eaten meat for a long time. Yuichiro, you really should try it. Michiro eagerly offered a piece of chicken meat and held it to Yuichiro, who simply pushed it away. I'm not taking anything from him, or any of those demon slayers. Yuichiro growled as he went back to eat his radish porridge. Michiro looked a little lost as he held the chicken meat in his hand. I simply opt to continue to eat my own meal. It's not like I'm expecting the chicken to result in a magical change in Yuichiro's attitude anyway. Why are you still following after us? In order for us to get to know each other better. I replied with a hum from where I am tailing the twins. We are going to cut firewood, something beneath what a swordsman would do. Yuichiro said with another of his usual sneers. It's not even afternoon yet and already I am used to it at this point. In case you had forgotten, I had told you that I came from a family of charcoal sellers. Cutting firewood is something that I had been doing ever since I could lift an axe. PFT. Yuichiro decided to ignore me as he put down the basket he was carrying and held his axe with his hands. Soon, he got to work with Michiro, who is also helping to cut firewood nearby. It's inefficient. What? Your way of cutting firewood is inefficient. I informed Yuichiro frankly and took the axe from his hands, earning myself another one of his many scowls. I simply walked up to another similar-sized tree and positioned myself with a stance. This is how you use an axe. I fell the tree with a single swing. I turned around, spotting the shocked looks Michiro and Yuichiro are giving me. I simply asked them another question. Want to learn? It's amazing. We got so much more firewood today. With this, we could probably buy meat dash. By the time we were done, the sun was starting to set. Michiro could not stop talking about how much easier it is to cut firewood after I taught them how to wield an axe in a more efficient manner. From my observation and the impromptu lesson which I had given them, I can conclude that the twins are really geniuses in their own right when it comes to the blade. They pick things up extremely quickly. Not only that, they barely have any wasted movements whenever they swing their axe or anything sharp in general. Their forms are near perfect even without any prior training. Any other flaws which I could spot, they only need me to point it out once before the flaw disappears entirely, never to be seen again. They are definitely Hashira material. They are really geniuses when it comes to using a blade. Don't think I will be grateful just because dash. I don't expect you to. I cut Yuichiro off before he could complete his sentence. Michiro is happily storing the large amount of firewood that he had cut today, leaving me and Yuichiro alone in our own corner and out of earshot. I was like you know? Do I look like I care? Like I told you before, my family had been charcoal sellers for generations. Like you, we cut firewood from dawn to dusk in order to make a living. Life is hard for us too, especially when my parents have 7 children to feed. Yuichiro simply remained silent as he began to properly store the portion of the firewood which he had collected, but I know that he is listening. I met my first demon during nightfall, like right now. I was 13 and on my way back home after selling charcoal and firewood to the townsfolk. The demon was lurking at the mountain where my family lived. Like you and Michiro, I am naturally talented with a blade. I fought the demon with nothing but an axe and beheaded it with a single strike. However, demons cannot be killed with the exception of 3 things: the sun, wisteria flowers, or a weapon made from scarlet crimson Oregon. I didn't have any of the 3 with me back then. Yuichiro tossed a firewood into the corner with a little more force than necessary, probably hinting at me to shut up and leave. I simply continued my side of the story. I got lucky. A demon slayer was nearby and he saved me. It was how I met a demon slayer for the first time, and at that moment, I decided to be a demon slayer. If a demon could appear so close to home once, then it could happen again a second time, a third time, and so on. To me, I feel that there is a need for me to learn how to properly slay demons. This is the only way I know of that can allow me to protect my family, because the threat that demons pose to my family is very, very real. Yuichiro took a brief pause in his actions before he continued doing whatever he was doing. My mother wasn't happy with my decision. She still isn't. My father, on the other hand, has always been supportive of me no matter what I do, as long as I am sure that I want to walk the path that I have chosen. I soon became a Hashira, one of the strongest members in the corps. Like I said, I don't care. Yuichiro snapped without looking back in my direction. Just leave. Already? I pretended that I didn't hear a thing and continued. Things were fine for 2 years. Then one day, my worst fears came true. A demon had found my home where my family was staying, and I wasn't there. Yuichiro froze. I arrived early enough to protect my mother and my siblings, but too late to save my father. To date, that is something that I deeply regretted. It is something that will follow me until the day I die. I said with a sigh. This Haori that you see me wearing, it belonged to my father. The same goes for the Hanafuda earrings. It is the only memento I have left of my father. Get to the point. The thing is, demons are everywhere, Yuichiro. I acquiesced to his wish and got straight to the point. Of course, you and Michiro might be lucky enough to never meet one in your entire lives. If that is so, good for you. I am saying this from the bottom of my heart. However, if you are unlucky like me, who lost a loved one despite my best efforts in keeping my family safe from demons, then you will realize you would wish that you have the strength to keep them safe. I walked up and placed a hand on Yuichiro's shoulder. Yuichiro didn't turn around, but at least he didn't brush me off. I know you are worried about Michiro, and I understand. Really, I do, because I am an older brother like you are. If I were you, I wouldn't want Michiro to be a demon slayer too, but let's face it, Yuichiro. The fact that you don't seek demons doesn't mean that they wouldn't seek you out. What would you do if that is the case? What can you do? Yuichiro didn't give me an answer. If there's another thing that I regret, it's that I couldn't stop my brother and sister from following my footsteps. The one thing that I was trying my best to prevent them to do, they did it. They are now training to be demon slayers too. If I could have my way, I would never let them be one, but nobody has a right to dictate how anyone else should live their lives. The only thing I could do as their older brother is to equip them with the necessary skills as best as I could, so that they will return back alive. So I should allow Michiro to be a demon slayer too? Because you allowed your younger siblings to be demon slayers. No, that's not what I am insinuating. I shook my head and helped Yuichiro in arranging the firewood. Like I said, I just want to understand you and Michiro better. I admit that Michiro probably doesn't fully understand what being a demon slayer means, unlike you. You are right to be worried, to be wary of us. We demon slayers rarely live past 20 years of age. I won't lie, even for someone like me there's a high chance that I would never live past 30. If I'm lucky I might live past 25, but that's about it. And even then, you allowed your siblings to be demon slayers? I only allowed 2 of them to be demon slayers, and no matter what happens the 3 of us will be the first and last from the Kamadu family to be demon slayers. That is my promise to my mother. I replied honestly. Like I said, it's a dangerous job. Like I told you, I cannot decide their future for them. Only they know what is best for them, because it is their lives, not mine. What I can do is to ensure that they fully understand what they are getting themselves into and that they are as well equipped as they can be. That is all. Our work here finally done, I dusted my hands and looked at Yuichiro, who had turned to face me as well. I won't lie. Michiro and you will very likely be the most talented swordsman the Corps will see if the both of you decide to join. Both of you are a natural with a blade. However, we will never force you to join us, that I promise you. The reason I am telling you my side of the story is because you are a lot like me. For our siblings, we can do anything, we can become anything. Don't assume to understand who I really am. And don't assume that I cannot understand you, because our experiences and circumstances are painfully similar in several aspects. I replied. In fact, there are quite a number of slayers that I know of who are like you, doing everything they can to protect their younger siblings from danger. We are all alike, it's just a matter of how alike. Yuichiro continues to glare at me, but I can see that his glare is a lot less hostile than before. Think about it, what is really best for you and Michiro? Think about whether you can really live a life free from demons. Think about whether you are really fine with deciding how Michiro should live his life. You told him that the mu in his name is in for invalid, but that's not what you think, am I right? At least, when I first saw him using the knife to chop up the radish this morning, the in that I thought of wasn't in for invalid. I took a pause, focusing my attention to my sense of smell. It's in for infinity. The talent and potential that Michiro possesses is infinite, and I know that deep down, you feel this way too. From the scent I smell from Yuichiro, I know that he agrees with me too. I placed a hand on Yuichiro's head and briefly ruffled his hair. This kid, seriously. He's really too much like me, so much that it scares me. I would never want anyone to be like me, a man full of flaws. If possible, I want Yuichiro to be better than me, regardless if he and Michiro ever become demon slayers or not. This is what I really feel. Take some time to think, Yuichiro. If any of you ever wants to be demon slayers, the Corps will welcome you with open arms. If not, that's fine too. Only you have the right to decide what your future should be. Same goes for your twin. With that, I walked off and started to make my way down the mountain. I will have to inform Amain that I have failed in my attempt to recruit the twins too. Although, I can't say that I really regret it. The twins are still children, and children shouldn't be out there fighting our war with demons. It just isn't right. I have no idea how long I was lost in my thoughts while making my way down the mountain in the dead of the night. Seeing Yuichiro and his behavior had made me feel as if something had hit very close to home when it comes to the way we are trying to protect our siblings. We are both people who do not know how to best express ourselves. Very often, what we try to do in their best interests push them away from us instead. I sighed. Maybe I should have bid Michiro goodbye before I left, but for some reason I have a feeling that doing so might cause him to quarrel with Yuichiro again. Also, where am I going to camp? Out for the night? Out on the mountains right here? Or should I continue to head down before finding a place to sleep? Or maybe I should just patrol the surrounding area for? I froze when my nose picked up a foul scent. A foul scent that is so familiar to me. Demons. They are here, up on the mountain. The twins could be in danger. Why are you back? But do you rather end up as its food? Yuichiro watched as Haruto pointed to the disintegrating demon with the tip of his sword that was standing right at their doorstep. Even till now, Yuichiro can still feel his heart pounding away. That was really too close. If Haruto didn't appear in the nick of time. Both of you stay here. I will go and patrol this mountain and ensure that there are no more demons lurking about. Haruto instructed them with a stern tone, one that none of them ever heard him say to them throughout the day where they got to know each other. He tossed to them a packet of something before he left. In it is wisteria incense. Burn it, it keeps demons away. With that, Haruto closed the door and left without a sound. Why Yuichiro? Yuichiro turned to his younger brother, who is looking at him with a worried look in his eyes. I'm fine. Yuichiro grunted as he inspected the long scratch on his arm. It's just a mere scratch, although deep enough to draw out quite a fair bit of blood. Would have been a lot worse if Haruto didn't appear just in time to cut the demon down before it could tear his arm off. Michiro wordlessly helped to bandage his wound with whatever clean scraps of cloth they have, tears still in his eyes. Silence fell upon the both of them not really knowing what to say to each other. I know you are worried about Michiro, and I understand. Really, I do, because I am an older brother like you are. If I were you, I wouldn't want Michiro to be a demon slayer too, but let's face it, Yuichiro. The fact that you don't seek demons doesn't mean that they wouldn't seek you out. What would you do if that is the case? What can you do? Yuichiro. His twin's worried voice got him to relax his clenched fists. He hates to admit it, but Haruto's right. Their very first encounter with that demon earlier proved it all. If demons really do come knocking on their doors, they are nothing but mere food. Useless. Unable to do a thing but livestock waiting to be slaughtered. If there's another thing that I regret, it's that I couldn't stop my brother and sister from following my footsteps. The one thing that I was trying my best to prevent them to do, they did it. They are now training to be demon slayers too. If I could have my way, I would never let them be one, but nobody has a right to dictate how anyone else should live their lives. The only thing I could do as their older brother is to equip them with the necessary skills as best as I could, so that they will return back alive. Michiro. Why yes. Do you still want to be a demon slayer? You said you wanted us to be swordsmen, to save everyone who is suffering under demons. Yuichiro spoke without any fluctuations in his voice or emotions, his eyes looking straight into his twins. Do you still feel that way? Like I said, it's a dangerous job. Like I told you, I cannot decide their future for them. Only they know what is best for them, because it is their lives, not mine. What I can do is to ensure that they fully understand what they are getting themselves into and that they are as well equipped as they can be. That is all. Michiro remained silent. His hand stopped working as he stared back at him too. After what seemed like infinity, Michiro finally gave an answer. Yes. Fine. Then let's be demon slayers. Yuichiro replied as he looked away, trying to ignore the shocked look on Michiro's face. You go and do your thing and save everyone. I will do my thing and save you whenever you get too full of yourself and do stupid things. Together, we will be the strongest demon slayers ever. You save people in danger, I save you when you are in danger. Yuichiro. Yuichiro looked away, not able to look at his twin. Sorry, I was lying. The mu in Michiro, it's the same as in for infinity. Unlike me, you are the chosen one. If you ever do something to help others, you can bring out infinite strength. That is what I truly believe in. Sorry for being so mean to you since our parents died. Sorry, Whatever Yuichiro wanted to say was never completed. His twin caught him in a tight hug as they both started to sob, similar to when they had both lost their parents. At that moment, Yuichiro made a vow. Like Haruto said, he doesn't have the right to decide his brother's future. Nobody has the right to decide anyone else's future, but he can do something else. Michiro can follow his dream to be a demon slayer to save everyone. Michiro can wield his blade for the sole purpose of helping everyone like he kept dreaming about. In that case, then he will protect Michiro. He will wield his blade for the sole purpose of ensuring that his brother does not die in his foolishly naive quest to save everyone. For his brother, he will be the strongest demon slayer ever. He will be a Hashira. Steady your footwork, don't let your concentration waver. Pour everything you have and can feel into the blade. Your blade and you should be one entity. Try again. They had done it. Tanjiro and Nezuko had finally managed to convince their mother and eldest brother that they too can be demon slayers. They are now their eldest brother's Tsugukos. Their big brother is exceptionally strict whenever it comes to training. Tanjiro is able to complete a full cycle of the dance of the fire god by now, but he is far from being able to dance the entire sequence repeatedly from sunset to sunrise. The same goes for Nezuko. That still doesn't stop them from trying. Their big brother had said that he will only let them enter the final selections if they can prove to him that they are capable of dancing the dance of the fire god from sunset to sunrise. If not, they can forget about ever becoming a demon slayer. Those were his exact words. Meeting their big brother's expectations of them is really a lot harder than it seems. It is only now that Tanjiro has a newfound appreciation of their father's and big brother's ability to dance the dance of the fire god from sunset to sunrise. How did they manage to do it? It's so difficult. Tanjiro, my boy. Hard at work again, I see. And Nezuko. I didn't see you there. And hello to you too, my dear friend. Rengoku-san. Tanjiro greeted their brother's best friend enthusiastically. Truth to be told, if it wasn't for Rengoku's help in persuading their big brother, Nezuko and him might never have had the chance to wield a blade. They are extremely grateful to Rengoku for this sole reason alone. Kyajuro. Their big brother greeted Rengoku with a nod before his gaze turned towards a woman that none of them had seen before. Ah, you guys have not met her before, have you? This is Kanroji Mitsuri, my Tsuguko. Everyone say hi. Hello. My name is Kanroji Mitsuri. It's nice to meet Lafia. The pink-haired woman squeaked out before giving a deep bow, but nearly tripping over her feet in the process. Nice to meet you, Kanroji. I am Kamado Haruto. Haruto replied before directing his attention back to Kyojuro. When did you get yourself at Tsuguko? Just yesterday. Rengoku declared with a boisterous laugh. Not only that, Kanroji is extremely talented. She's creating an entirely new breath style on her own from the breath of flames. That's so cool. Nezuko shared the same sentiments as she went up to Kanroji and took the hands of the shy woman in hers. My name is Kamado Nezuko. It's nice to meet you, Kanroji. Kanroji's face brightened up immediately upon Nezuko's friendly gesture. My name is Tanjiro. Kamado Tanjiro. Tanjiro replied a little nervously. We are Onii-chan's Tsugukos. And I say you guys are improving nicely. Rengoku ruffled Tanjiro's hair with his large hand. Hey Haruto, did you know? There's someone who is very close to hitting a kill count of 50 demons. We might have a new Hashira within our ranks soon. Oh, and who might that be? He's Urokaduki-san's student last I heard. So it's probably a future water Hashira that we are looking at. What was his name again? Gia? Tomioka-ju. Ah yes. Exactly that. Rengoku pointed an excited finger at their big brother upon hearing those words before realizing that something was amiss. Wait, how did you know? I had heard about him during my travels. I think he will make a good Hashira. Is that so? Rengoku said cheerily, that big smile never leaving his face. Aren't you excited? If we include him, we will soon have 7 Hashiras. Just 2 more short of filling up all the available slots. It's amazing to think about how many slayers within the Corps are starting to rise to the position of Hashira in recent years. From what Oyakata-sama had told me, it's indeed been a long time since the Corps had this many Hashiras. Haruto admitted. Maybe an era of change is close, one for the better. You can bet on it. I need to go. Haruto said as he took the dark orange and black patterned Haori from where it was hanging on a fence nearby and draped it across his shoulders, just like how their father had once worn it. Tanjiro subconsciously straightened his back when Haruto turned back to face him and Nezuko. Continue to practice what I have taught the both of you. If you two truly want to be demon slayers, then I will not expect any less. I expect the both of you to be able to dance for a minimum of 6 hours by the time I get back. We won't disappoint you. Tanjiro shouted after his big brother's departing form. His big brother merely gave a lazy wave of his hand without looking back before disappearing from view. The fire Hashira sure is cool. I think my heart just went daki daki. Give it up, Kanroji. I'm pretty sure Kane already has eyes for Onii-chan. Nezuko teased with a laugh. Although from the looks of it, it's a one-sided affair on her part. Wait. Rengoku looked suitably shocked at the news dropped on him. Kane and Haruto are? I don't really know. Tanjiro trailed off as he glanced at his sister, who only rubbed her palms in glee. I don't know about Onii-chan, but I'm very sure Kane likes him a lot. Why else would she keep trying to find him in her spare time? Why, mother thinks the same too. That would block. I just knew it. Rengoku gripped the sides of his head in frustration. How can he not answer Kane's feelings? But no matter. I will see to it that he notices her. I will set his heart ablaze. Rengoku-san? Is that really a good idea? Why won't it be? This is really bad. Of all places, where is there an upper moon here? Not only that, it is an upper moon too. You really need to stop your futile resistance, you know? Don't worry, I will make sure that your journey to paradise is a painless one. You will not suffer even a single bit. Shut your mouth. Kane spat between breaths, trying to focus her blurry vision as she gripped tightly onto her Nichiren blade. She needs to stall for time. It doesn't matter even if it is only for a single second, she needs to stall for time. The lives residing in the village behind her now depends on how long she can hold this demon back. Can she stall till sunrise? She does not know, but she must at least try. With a wave of the fans in his hands, the upper moon too sent another wave of frost and ice coming her way. Kane leapt over the attack and tried to get close, only to fail spectacularly because the blasted demon is so much faster than her. The power wielded by an upper moon too is insanely powerful. It's scary to even think about just how impossibly formidable the upper moon 1 in Musen will be if this psycho is already this strong. She lost her focus when an attack nearly freezed her entire left side, causing her to trip. She can only watch as ice spikes rain down at her, intending to skewer her alive. She closed her eyes, accepting her unavoidable fate. And then she felt herself being pulled and carried away in someone else's arms. "You all right?" When she finally opened her eyes, she saw the face of the person she would never expect to see here. He still wears that same expressionless look on his face, but his eyes are undoubtedly full of concern about her. "Why yeah," she replied lamely as he put her back down. "Thanks for the save. The Corps received the message sent by your Kasugai Crow. Reinforcements are on the way," Haruto mentioned as he slowly drew out his jet black sword and pointed it in the demon's direction, who surprisingly let them have their conversation without interfering. That same sick smile is still on its face. "I can help dash." "No, you will not," Haruto replied with a firm voice. "You are too injured to be of any help. Go and hide, warn the residents of the village, whatever. Just don't butt into this fight. You are in no condition to do so. If you trust me, then leave." "This to me." Kane wanted to retort, only to hold back at the last second because as much as she hates to admit it, Haruto is right. She will only be a burden to him in her current state. His blood demon arts revolve around the usage of ice. His fans are what he uses to create them. Don't breathe in the cold air he emits, it will freeze your lungs. "I got it." With that, Haruto lunged at the upper moon too with speed and grace that is unique to him. With how Haruto is moving, Kane can easily tell that he stands a much larger chance against the upper moon too as compared to her at her best. Kane took one last look at the fire Hashira before running away from the scene of the battle. The only thing she can help him with now is to ensure nobody else gets close to the battle behind her. She is a fool. Why did she think that she is his equal the moment she became the flower Hashira? Even when she is now a Hashira, the distance between them is still so huge. She is still so... Doma. Upper moon too. Uses ice. Died to Shinobu's poison in canon when she sacrificed herself to bring him down. That is all I can remember about this particular demon in front of me. I don't remember any of the details, but knowing that Doma uses ice already gives me a slight advantage. From that alone I would know what would and would not work against him. Clear blue sky. I promptly obliterated the wave of ice Doma sent my way before following up with a sunflower move. Today, Doma will die. I will not let him roam free and kill innocent people any longer. I will not let him lay a single finger on the people that I had grown to care about. It doesn't matter whether I can reach his neck and cut off his head. All I need to do is to dance until sunrise. It's what the dance of the fire god is created for in the first place. To dance until sunrise. To kill all demons in existence by dancing until sunrise. Doma blocked my move with one of his fans before swiftly striking back with the other. I responded with fake rainbow and left an afterimage behind, successfully slipping past his guard. Solar heat haze. With a powerful charge, I landed a slash on Doma and managed to cut off his right arm, only for it to regrow back within seconds. Doma leapt back to gain some distance and retaliated by creating a garden of blooming lotuses swarming my way, which I quickly destroyed with burning bones, summer sun. I cannot help but grin. I already got what I need. Shichamaru. I whispered softly as I dropped the syringe of blood that I collected earlier when I hacked off Doma's arm. I knew that Shichamaru must have received the item somehow because I did not hear the syringe hit the floor. Yashiro's blood demon arts is doing a great job in keeping it hidden, and if all goes well, Shichamaru will continue to help collect more blood samples in this fight against Doma. You look very happy for some reason. Doma commented as he partially covered his twisted smile with his fan. You are going to die today, it is a cause for celebration. I replied with a monotone as I slowly shifted my stance. Now die. Setting Sun Transformation. I released a powerful appended sword slash that tore the ground with it, forcing Doma to dodge towards the open field nearby where there is no shade or shelter in sight. Kane had done well for holding out for as long as she did. Sunrise will be out in about an hour by my estimate. It's more than within my capabilities to continue dancing for an hour with the dance of the fire god even with Doma as my opponent. I am not giving Doma any time to catch a breath or to take a break, and I am definitely not giving him the chance to flee and seek shelter before the sun inevitably rises once more. Dragon Sun Halo Head Dance. I charged ahead as I began to dance the dance of the fire god in sequence, repeating the motions over again and again as I continue to duel against Doma. This time, I will protect the people close to me. My friends and family, my comrades, everyone. I am Kamado Haruto. I am the Fire Hashira. I will protect them this time using everything I have, using whatever it takes. I had failed once and father paid the price with his life. I will not fail again. Never again. Nei-san. Shinobu. Shinobu ran up to her older sister in worry and caught her just when she was about to fall on her feet. Her sister had lost quite a lot of blood, that much is obvious from how pale her face is, but it's still not too late. She can still save her. No. Not me. Her big sister said between breaths as she pointed to the direction ahead, trying to fight against the effects of blood loss. I'm trying to evacuate the villagers but Haruto. Upper Moon too. Shinobu's eyes widened in shock. No way. That expressionless stone wall is fighting against an upper moon too. All by himself. Namo Amida Butts. Shinobu, you stay here to treat your sister. Yuzui and I will go to assist Haruto. Kakushi's, I leave the medical treatment and the evacuation of the villagers to you. Yes, sir. With that, the stone and sound Hashiras disappeared in a blur and ran towards where Kane last pointed. It wasn't long before they heard the sound of clashing metal and they picked up speed, running as fast as they could to assist their fellow Hashira. First form, Serpentinite Bipolar. Both Yuzui and Himejima did not hesitate to unleash their attacks on the demon dressed in blood-red clothes the moment they spotted it. Haruto continues to press on with his attacks with reckless abandon, already injured in several places but still far from being put down. Sun's coming up soon. He's desperate. Corner him. Don't let him escape. Himejima and Yuzui immediately got the memo as they split up to surround the upper moon too, cutting all possible escape routes this abomination could take. Haruto did not give the demon a chance to take a break or to even think as he continued with his mesmerizing dance of fire in rapid succession. Get out of my way. With one last desperate shout, the upper moon too used its blood demon arts that caused a field of frozen flowers to bloom into existence. That did not slow Haruto down for even a single second as he nimbly evaded the ice below him and destroyed whatever he could not avoid with his sword. He gave a powerful downward slash and cut off the demon's left arm, causing its blood to spill everywhere. Die! Yuzui coordinated with Haruto's movements and did a pincer attack, successfully bisecting the upper moon too at its waist. Himejima swung his mace down from above, aiming to take out the demon's head in one blow. To their disbelief, a Bodhisattva ice statue came into being right at that moment, blocking Himejima's attack. Haruto was the first to react and tried to slash at the upper moon too, only for it to have recovered from its injuries by now through the sheer speed of its regeneration. I will handle the statue. The both of you go for the demon. Yuzui and Haruto leapt into action upon hearing Himejima's words, managing to cut off the demon's escape route in time. Yuzui let loose a series of anti-demon bombs on the upper moon too, causing it to screech out in pain. Haruto leapt out from the smoke and released a horizontal slash so fast that his blade briefly caught fire from the friction against the air alone. Yuzui watched in fascination as the youngest Hashira among them kept going impossibly faster and faster, as if already breaking through the physical limits the human body could possibly achieve. He is just like a mere phantom. And it's not just that. Haruto's jet black blade is slowly turning into a bright scarlet red. Every Hashira would know what it means to have their Nichiren blade turn red. He needs to support Haruto as best as he can. There would not be a second chance to corner an Upper Moon 2 like this after tonight. Fourth form. Constant resounding slashes. Yuzui's twin swords swung about in a frenzy amidst the explosions his anti-demon bombs are releasing, cutting off any hopes of escape for the demon. Haruto weaved through the demon's attacks with ease as Yuzui made sure to not accidentally hamper the Fire Hashira's movements, watching as Haruto somehow managed to score another fatal blow on the Upper Moon 2, releasing another spray of crimson demonic blood. Yuzui! I got it! Fifth form. String performance. That attack managed to temporarily overwhelm the Upper Moon 2 and gave Haruto some much-needed breathing space and time to recollect himself. Haruto leapt back into action a second later and nearly made Yuzui's heart jump in his throat from how he was seemingly skewered by those spikes of ice, only for him and the demon to realize that it was an afterimage that they were looking at. In the next instance, Haruto was already behind the demon, his sword already swinging in a horizontal slash as Yuzui swung his own blade from the demon's front, trapping the demon in between them. Their target, the neck of the Upper Moon 2. Oniai-chan. Nobody stops the gaggle of children that ran into the ward where their Fire Hashira is currently resting. The Fire Hashira merely cracked open his eyes the moment he heard that he was being called and tried to sit up from where he was lying on the bed, only for Shinobu to press a hand on his chest and push him back down. You lie down. Doctor's orders. Shinobu said sternly before going back to concocting medicine. You are still not fit enough to move about. I'm fine. Haruto retorted. You said it yourself, just a case of exhausty dash. Doctor's orders. Shinobu gave the Fire Hashira a deceptively sweet smile before proceeding to give him a blatant threat. Or do you want me to poison you such that you will lie down there for an entire month? The Fire Hashira wisely kept his mouth shut. Oniai-chan, are you okay? Hanako was the first to reach Haruto's side as she looked at her big brother with worry clear in her eyes, almost on the verge of tears. Her reactions were mirrored by her siblings. I'm fine. Just tired, that's all. How's mother? I'm over here. Ki made her appearance just then as she sat down beside her son's bed. Once she is sure that her eldest is fine, she cannot help but release a sigh of relief. Thank the gods you are all right. Why you were covered in so much blood when Hymenmasen carried you in? W thought. Takeo released a sob as he tried to wipe away the tears threatening to spill from his eyes. It's mostly the demon's blood, not mine. Ah, really? Shigeru asked, which Haruto replied with a nod. Speaking of which, where's Tanjiro and Nezuko? They are helping Rengoku and Oyakata-sama with something. Shinobu answered Haruto's question as she handed a cup of medicine to Haruto. Here, drink this. So I can sit up now? For now, yes. Slowly, Haruto sat up on his bed as his younger siblings eagerly helped him in the endeavor. Haruto gave them a small smile in return before downing the medicine in one gulp. Oniai-chan? Since when did you get a tattoo? Rokuta pointed to the left side of his forehead as he asked, in which Haruto raised his left hand to touch the spot which Rokuta had pointed out. Tattoo? Isn't that a tattoo? Rokuta asked in confusion. Haruto looked a little confused as well, so Shinobu handed to him a small mirror to take a look at his own reflection. Don't ask me either, I am just as clueless as you guys are. You already had it when Himejima and the rest brought you in. Shinobu added as she watched Haruto inspect the new weird mark on the left side of his forehead. Huh, I see. Haruto mumbled as he finally put away the mirror in his hand. No, Rokuta, Oniai-chan did not go and get myself a tattoo. I have no idea how I got that mark too. It looks permanent. Ki said in worry as her fingers brushed across her son's forehand to inspect the weird mark. It does not seem to be a wound, but it's not a demon thing, is it? Ki looked towards Shinobu in worry at those words. Rest assured, Ki Oba-san, I'm very sure it's not. I have double-checked. This brick will be right as rain in a couple of days. Shinobu stated with confidence before turning back to Haruto. Well, I guess congratulations are in order. You are the first demon slayer to slay an upper moon in the past 100 years, so good job on that. Oyakata-sama was very pleased. I had help. Couldn't have done it alone. Haruto released a small sigh as he closed his eyes for a short moment before reopening them again. How is your sister? Injured and exhausted, slight case of frostbite, lost a lot of blood while she's at it but nothing that she cannot recover from. She's resting in a different room. Shinobu informed Haruto as she used a hand to press the fire Hashira down onto the bed, hinting at him to lie down now that he had finished taking his medicine. The fire Hashira did not protest, obviously too tired to do so. Thank you, Haruto, for saving Nei-san. No need to thank me. It's what we demon slayers do, to save people. Haruto replied with his eyes shut. The combination of fatigue and drowsiness from the medicine is obviously starting to set in. Of course Oniai-chan will save. Ken-san, they like each other, don't they? Hanako, stop spouting nonsense. Haruto accurately flicked a finger at his sister's forehead without even needing to open his eyes, eliciting an indignant yelp from her. Oniai-chan, stop that. What if my forehead keeps growing bigger because you keep hitting it? Alright, your Oniai-chan needs his rest. Ki came to her eldest son's rescue, although she didn't quite manage to stifle her laughter as she did so. We will visit you again later at night when we are free, Haruto. Rest well. You take care of yourself too, mother, don't strain yourself too much. Shinobu said that I'm already fine, so there's no need to worry about me. With that, the Kamado family reluctantly left the medical ward, leaving Shinobu alone with the fire Hashira. Tamayo had received that bucket full of blood you spilled out of the upper moon too. I have some samples with me too. Oyakata-sama is already ordering for the focus to be on researching a way to kill Muzan for good using the blood samples you had obtained. I'm a part of the research group too. Shinobu informed Haruto the moment everyone else is out of earshot. Got to give you some credit, alright. Not everyone can survive an upper moon too, 'cause it to spill so much blood in order to collect it, and then kill the demon thereafter. Maybe you are not as unlikable as I thought. Haruto merely gave a light snort as he turned to his side, showing his back to the doctor. Pot calling the kettle black. It's not like you are very likable yourself. What? Turn around and say that to my face you... Don't cover your head with the blanket. Stop hiding and say those words to my face if you are a man.